for Thursday, November 13th, Planning Board, 6:01. All rise. Hey. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We'll do attendance. Roxanne Tuskegee here. Christine Maynard here.
John Quinn here.
Vicky's all here. All right, so So we have meeting minutes for September 11th, 2025 and October 9th, 2025.
I'm good. I will make a motion to approve both minutes.
Seconded.
All those in favor? All right. So we got some land use inquiries. So we have 3 to talk about. So first one is, before I even say your name and kill it.
Oh, no problem. Frank Itzerly.
Yes. So Frank and his ex-wife, correct?
What?
Wife?
Yes.
Yes. So Frank and his wife, they bought the house on 25 Kings Highway. They were here a couple of months ago about making the garage into a detached ADU. So it's on the corner of Pinko and Kings Highway.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you. That was Alvina Frizzio's house.
Okay.
Which you, okay, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, I actually found some old DePrizio stuff in the basement. So cool. But anyways,
But it's, yeah, it's Alvina.
Some art.
definitely keeping it.
So they purchased the house and they're moving forward with doing the ADU. They went and got a new septic design, and when they got their septic design, it is a septic design that will accommodate a 3-bedroom main house and 2-bedroom ADU. So I do have a bedroom and laundry. But what their thing is their house is actually it's listed as it was a technically 4-bedroom main house. And so you guys want to be able to like go down in bedrooms.
Yep.
And they didn't know if they needed to come to us for an approval. I thought about it, I didn't have a chance to do like true work, but I don't see that there's an issue with it because it's going according to septic, so.
But hey, kudos to you for coming.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because most people don't.
I just want to do everything right, you know.
It is appreciated when people actually come forward.
No, I don't see that there's any issue with
No.
what you want to do.
Okay.
The only thing that I had thought of was that, like, when it comes to like assessment time, when you have your house assessed as like a 3-bedroom versus 4-bedroom.
Yeah.
But then when I talked to Robin about it, Robin said that Avatar is more concerned with like the square footage of your house versus bedrooms.
You're going to want the tax value reflected accurately, but we can.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, that's right. That is a
We
note.
could get a 4-bedroom, one's a home gym, one's a home office.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
You can say whatever you want. You can get this to your house.
I mean, I have a 2-bedroom and then a computer room, and the people before us, they had their like infant in the computer
But I
room.
think if you set a closet, it's considered a bedroom, I think.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know,
and
you have to have.
and I talked to Robin about that too, of like what's considered, because I heard the same, like if it has a closet, it's considered a bedroom. But
That's what you got.
Yeah, it's like every
one thing, the appraisers go by another thing. the real
But
estate
it's
agent
guided
goes
by
by
your septic system, having
Septic
jobs.
system.
Okay, awesome.
Septic system rules.
Say that again, Kate?
Bedrooms are guided by your septic system, that's it.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Do I need any written, I guess, approval from this board to start contacting the codes board in search of construction permits? Okay, awesome. Thank you.
And if Carl has any questions, he'll just reach out.
Appreciate that very much.
You don't feel like you have to stay. I'll say that.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll hang around a little
So, but that is an interesting question, because you've got you have the redesign on your septic system?
bit. I actually have a state-approved
So
design.
you've got the 2 bedrooms in the house and the 1 in the ADU?
3 in the house, 2 in the ADU.
And 2 and the ADU.
Yes.
So your septic design is for 5.
Yes. Awesome.
No,
It's pretty big and it's gonna be a little pricey, but it's, you know,
it's going to be worth it.
it's, fingers crossed, yeah.
Well, if you need lumber, you go to Creeksville Mill.
You just walk right across.
There's Middleton.
Oh, I-
The Creeksville Pine Sale is still in Sutton.
Oh, that's amazing.
Get the Prezio discount.
That's great.
You
I
want to stand up and show them your hoodie, you get the discount that your
No.
purchase?
You can deliver it with a forklift. It's right on the, right next door, so.
They better not charge it.
You know, it's free delivery within so many miles. I can
They
tell you.
do.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that was a nice, easy, happy.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Um, And then, so our next one is your John, right? Yes, it's so easy because everybody in our neighborhood's John.
I've replaced John who moved out.
Yeah, he bought John Polari's.
So, okay, now I was gonna say, John.
I made it super easy on all the neighbors.
Yeah, so he bought John Polari's house and then he turned it into a beautiful house.
Oh, I heard you knocked the whole thing down.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jim, my husband works for the highway department, so.
Okay.
He's a chatter. Selects the network, I guess, or whatever, you know. Yes, okay, sorry.
So, with John, I read your, I don't want to say application, but your, whatever that you wanted to do.
Yep.
So are you buying 2 lots?
Well, so what my wife and I were looking to do, because, obviously we started coming up last summer. We have a house in Drake. We don't really want to rent the lake house because now that it's done, it's a shiny new thing. We kind of fell in love with this area. So we're looking to list our Drake house. And with that comes a bit of downsizing because our Drake house has some more space for us being loud talkers, being native New Englanders, as well as the home gym and stuff. And so as trying to make this our forever home and area, in our dog walks around the neighborhood, we've just been trying to identify land that is still wooded, not developed. And then, gosh, I went on a crusade on the internet just trying to find people's phone numbers and such. And so I ended up finding a family that has a double plot at the back of Spruce where it turns, which is plot 31 on map 4. And they also own 147 on map 4 as well.
Is it before the 2 new builds or?
So if you're going up Spruce towards the turn,
Yeah.
it's the new builds make the turn and it's the land next to the house that's on the double plot, like on the corner.
Okay.
And so what our hope and desire was to be able to find a space that we could actually still have our home fitness area, put my office in there because, like I said, we're both relatively loud talkers. And so working from home for both of us.
Maybe you could just blend it up here.
Yeah, 31 is, where am I going? Spruce. Oh, here we go. So 31's here, which is the double, and then 147 is the single.
Yeah.
And so,
Wait a minute, sorry, map 4,
map 4,
yeah.
lot 31 is the double, and 147 is the single. So it's like a 0.22 mile walk from our house. It takes about 4 minutes. It's very, 31. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's located in a perfect spot for us to try and have an auxiliary space. But the problem for us comes in, obviously, looking at Sunrise Lake District, I know that the permitted uses list single-family dwellings. What I was hopeful that maybe there would be some sort of ability for a variance in the fact that the overall purpose of what I read from the purpose statement in the Lake District is really just to try to protect the area, protect the lake. And so in our minds, it's not so outlandish that we're not trying to have more people living there. It's not a space we would ever look to rent. It's a place we'd look to keep for us as our forever home and our fitness space. And so ideally with it being a double plot and having, I think it's 160 wide by 135 deep, the hope would be, if everything went well, to just kind of put something back, leave as many trees up as possible, and just let this space blend in with the surroundings.
Yeah.
So really wouldn't want to have a kitchen space or anything because it would at least force me to go home, have lunch with my wife each day, which would be a nice thing, get the dog for a walk. But I'd be looking to put a restroom over there because obviously I don't want to go 8 minutes back and forth in the snow and in the winter. So I just wanted to come to you guys because obviously in what I can read that's published in the town, what my desire to do isn't technically, as I'm reading it, something that would be allowed. But I just didn't know if that would be anything the town would have
I
an allowance for.
personally thinking about it, because when I talked to Robin about what you were trying to achieve
Yep.
and keeping, what if you just built a one family and then had it so that way you had your space, and then that way if something ever happened to where you were like, I'm not working remotely anymore, my wife's not,
Sure.
we don't need this extra space, you could easily throw in throw in the kitchen cabinets or,
Right, well, I guess I would look at it in this kind of the same aspect as saying, you're gonna have plumbing in there.
Yep.
So you could have the lines there, capped off for potentially a future kitchenette
Mhm.
or something like that, and whatnot. But I would see, and again,
And then if you had
I would see it
family,
like
yeah.
a single family or studio, whatever, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, the only thing, we talked about that, my wife and I as well, just to see, what would be possible.
Yeah.
It just kind of changes what the design space of it would be. I mean, ultimately, what I'm looking to do for my office, for our fitness area, and for an area just to put our cars inside, off the road, not visible, save the life of the cars. I mean, they're Subarus, they're gonna last forever anyways, but it'd be nice to have them inside. It just, doing it as a single family, it just would be a different floor plan, I guess, and I don't know if ultimately,
I think if you work with a good enough contractor
Yeah.
and you told them like what your goal is,
Well, okay, so I'm gonna throw it out there and say, it could be like I'm gonna say, this seems to be very common, like a barndominium, right? So you would be driving, I would suspect maybe you're gonna drive under and then have a living space above,
yeah.
potentially, right?
Yeah,
So let's go ahead, Kate.
You're talking about map 4, lot 31,
yes, ma'am.
and map 4, lot 147.
The only reason I bring 147 up is in contact with the family. They own both of those plots, and if they're selling one, their desire is to get rid of both. We personally don't have any desire to do anything with 147.
So you're looking to do something.
We're only looking to do something on 31.
because 31's a double.
Because 31's a double lot, it would give us the ability to try to just keep something because it's a nicely wooded lot as it is. And if it could just stay looking like trees and just have our space out of the way, out of sight, out of mind, that's our overall goal.
Yeah.
And then 147,
Yeah.
that's just kind of a, if we want
No,
one,
thank
we
you.
gotta kind of do both.
Actually, Christine now has it up here, yeah. I mean, so I personally, I think I can envision what you're looking for.
Mhm.
And to me, it's almost similar to like a studio apartment to some degree. You could say it's all open and you have a bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatnot. So I mean, whatever the inside of your space looks like, that's you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
You,
I personally look at it because you know how much it costs to build. You just
Right.
went through all of this.
Right.
You're going to pay for all of it in a way. I would personally suggest that you do what she's saying, is like build it so you can easily convert it, so you maybe don't put the cabinets in, but do all of the plumbing and have it, or set up something so that way.
so that you could do the plumbing more easily than not,
Sure.
because if for some reason you decide, hey, all of a sudden maybe you don't need the
Yep.
space, or, you have extended family coming in and they wanna,
Always
you
want
wanna put it
cabinets.
somewhere outside of your house, which is not a bad.
Well, this would be a great reason not to have that all plugged.
That's true too, then you can't mind get rid of it.
Yeah, right, then they have a space that they can stay.
Well, don't make it too comfortable, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
sure.
I would refer to Kate kind of, what's your thoughts on that, Kate?
He's gonna need something, just like any other
Yep.
Yeah.
residence. Yeah. So it will be a residence, it will be you're constrained by the law.
Right. It would be considered, yeah, it would be considered probably in the classification as like a single family home.
Okay,
Because
so,
what else would you,
yeah, and then I don't know if this is the right form or question of it, but would I have to then go as far as, and I think a dwelling is defined as something that has, what, indoor plumbing, a finished kitchen, or a kitchen space or something. Would I be,
I think it's square footage.
yeah, I don't necessarily think,
I don't think there's any other limitations as far as a finished kitchen or anything.
Right, no, I don't think so
It's just square footage of the residence.
okay.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I can verify that. Yeah, we're just
Again,
here, we're just talking, we're trying to help you out the best we can.
Yeah, that was my only concern is like, obviously, like you said, we just built the house at 100. We know what everything costs that goes into it, and it's just like,
yes,
I'm not-
so Kate, I will read from what we have in our ordinance that's defined, it says dwelling single family. A building containing one dwelling unit that is not attached to any other dwelling by any means, including but not limited to manufacturer's home as defined by any RSA 674:31. And pre-site built homes is defined in RSA 64:31-A. It is surrounded by open space, yard, and trees. So then if we go and looked at a dwelling unit, one, it's one or more rooms designed, occupied, or intended for occupancy as a separate living quarters with cooking, sleeping, and sanitary facilities provided within the dwelling unit for exclusive use of the family maintained household. Doesn't say you have to have a completed kitchen, you know.
okay, I guess I took the cooking part of that to mean
Microwave.
more than a hot plate.
Microwave and hot plate.
I would say that regardless of the individuals involved, we have to think about the town
Sure.
in the future.
Yeah.
And normally, there's a single-family residence that we've been seeing built there, and that's what we approve, disapprove, and that's what our setbacks are requiring. And it's the septic that is clearly, you could get approval for a one-bedroom or something, but then again, in the future,
Sure.
what's the resale value of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think for, kind of like what Kate was saying, for the spirit of the town, or for the spirit of what the ordinance, what that area is zoned for, keeping that in mind, and then also like thinking about, your future, like ultimately, you're gonna be taxed on 2 homes.
Right.
So to save yourself the hassle down the road, set it up as that, or set it up so you can easily convert it as that.
Okay.
So it looks that way.
Yep.
Because, you're gonna pay the bills for it, you're gonna pay the taxes for it. It's gonna be, when they assess it.
You are putting septic in, that's
Yeah.
definite.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's a residence. I mean,
Right.
if you're just building a garage on that, you wouldn't need the septic without that approval.
Yeah, like I said, 8 minutes back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little tough in the winter while working.
Yeah, we have a little bit more Easter.
Oh, yeah, it'd be long.
Or it'd be a Home Depot bucket, and that's not good for anyone.
Hey.
And I guess one more question, and again, whether you guys are the right, wrong, or other, you're more right than I am. Is there anything that the town would have on record as far as, are there any surrounding wetlands that are labeled as wetlands?
Yeah, you're in a wetland area over there.
that was gonna be my next question, because down.
Because septic needs certain space from
And there's a
wetlands.
reason those lots aren't developed.
Okay,
And a major wetlands in the town of Englewood is right behind those lots.
Okay.
147, if it's not wetlands, for sure, it's scary. If we had a copy of the tax card, it could help you there, but yeah.
He's more concerned about 31.
yeah, 147 is a throwaway, honestly.
31, very well.
Well, but also, the one good thing you have probably don't use, because it's a double lot. So because that then will give you a little more space, but it could be more wet because it's a double lot. But
Sure.
yeah, I think, and you're not gonna find that out until you go out and have that all.
Okay, and so as far as who decides what that is there some guidance you could give me?
Well, we're having a septic system put in, they will do that. We also have wetland soils maps online and.
Okay. All right, is that right at the,
Actual wetlands inventory. Well, actually, if you go to the assessing and go to the GIS information,
Yep.
you can look it up, flip down on the left-hand side, they have the state, they have the national wetlands inventory, and they also have hydrology and soils on there as well. But those are just generalities, would have to be site-specific when you get down to it for your septic system.
And then I guess final question, so I don't waste your nights.
There's no ways, if we're helping.
Sure, well, I certainly appreciate that. Whoever I would hire to come out to do a septic plan, would they be a qualified individual to make that determination? Because I know there are certain rules about distance from wetlands and all of that.
They should be certified.
Okay. Because ultimately, in discussions with the family that currently owns the land now, they've basically said, you know, we want you to be able to do what you want to do before we make a sale. So they've been very understanding as well.
Well,
So it'd be a sunk cost, at least for
my understanding, so when you go to do your septic design
Yeah,
and you do they'll do the perk test where they can dig in. I believe they don't do that like in the winter months.
okay,
So I think you're gonna get close to the window of getting on it before you have to wait for the spring.
sure.
But I think but from my understanding, so I was told by someone else that they wanted to buy a lot in the winter time, and there was a contingency of like whether or not you'd be able to build and put in the septic.
Okay,
And everywhere we called, they said, well, we can't do a perk test right now because it's January.
gotcha.
And so you would have to wait until I think like early spring.
Okay.
So there'd be something to.
Spring starts in April.
Sometimes May.
Usually just like this, if you want to powwow. I just did exactly what you're talking about. If you want to maybe
Yeah,
be offline, we can chat about it.
that'd be great if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But so then ultimately, I guess as far as the takeaways, because I know I'm gonna have to debrief my wife, is if we had a plan for a single dwelling or a single family dwelling, you know, at least a bedroom, whatever, and meet the stipulations of that, setbacks are what they need to be from the road, the two other sides, the back, and then if I can get hold of somebody that's still going out and braving the weather as far as the ground is concerned, to do a perk test and septic plan.
Right.
Would that, go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead, finish.
Would that ultimately be kind of the big ticket items for the town, for the land that I would need to be able to have a confidence that nicer weather, I could actually go through
So
this?
what ultimately you'll end up doing is make an agreement with people that you're buying from. We'll buy this property on the contingent that the perk test passes and we can have the, that connection built.
Yep.
So you just want to make sure from, if you use the same contractor or whoever you use, make sure that you can get, your 50 feet from the road and what is it, 20 feet from either side, which.
Yeah, I think it's 160 by 135, so hopefully some
75 feet from wetlands.
Yeah,
75 for wetlands.
so then you have to identify where your wetlands are.
Yep.
As long as you meet all of that criteria and you're a contractor, or you go with your building permit to the code enforcement officer, you get your permit,
As long as you have a certified septic design, once you've gone through that and they say, yeah, you can, well, that's what then it's a matter of getting your building.
And then is there maybe any other words of wisdom or things that I'm not considering that you guys would know since you've been doing this that I should be looking out for?
I would just make sure you go to a reputable septic designer and the septic company,
Okay.
which,
Because you want to make sure the water.
yeah.
Well, the height, as you know, is 24 feet.
Sorry, one more time.
The height of the building is only going to be 24 feet.
Is it 24? Okay.
Yeah,
In the Lake District.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so it's, which actually you just went through that too.
Yeah, well, Kevin went through that.
But yeah, I mean, I guess as long as all of those criteria are met,
Okay.
then you're good to go. But I would just check into the wetland and just make sure that the perk test passes.
Okay.
You've got a contractor already that hopefully you're happy with, so.
I couldn't have been happier with him if you guys are ever looking for someone to do work for you. He was fantastic. Kevin Rouleau, is it out of New Durham, I think?
Probably should.
But yeah, I mean, he's building the addition on the house across the lake right now, so he's kicking around.
Yeah.
How do you
Well, thank
spell-
you guys very
How
much.
do you spell that last name?
Roulea.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Anyone want to add anything?
So the next, so yes, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Good luck.
Thank you.
The guys don't understand. There's a lot of
Yeah,
people.
thanks for.
You want to talk septic outside for a little
Thank you
bit?
very much.
Thank you all so much.
Exactly.
We appreciate the kicker, but
Oh, it's good.
Unless you want to.
I don't know, I'm gonna be a pro, but one word.
I was gonna say, the next one says hot dog cart.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
on the other side of town.
I was there for the first one.
Thanks,
Thank you all
guys.
so much.
Thanks, have a good night.
So yes, so the hot dog.
So the hot dog cart.
Before we discuss the hot dog part, I'm going to just throw out there that I understand, well, she's looking for a conditional use permit, right? Which, and I'm not saying I'm against that, I'm fine with it, but what I would suggest before that happening is that she check with, state DOT, because that's on a state road.
So I talked to Blair, and he said they don't need to talk, she doesn't need to talk to the state, she started at the permit. She's already got her driveway and all that, so. It
One
should.
thing I wanted to add though is that I did look up some other stuff from AI, so I don't know how valuable it is, but supposedly most towns would consider what she's trying to do commercial use. They wouldn't allow it in residential, so I don't know how to do that.
They, what use?
Most towns would consider what she's doing a commercial,
Commercial.
Yes.
and you would need to.
I'm sorry, I just can't hear it.
That's okay, it's probably,
Yeah.
but anyway, just something to think about, I don't know,
Yeah.
do that further.
So,
And Robin had explained that earlier. What
yes, right here, it says commercial use, activity involving, I'm in the definitions. Activity involving the sale of goods or services carried for profit where the, promise is being used, it says us, where the us and the primary use of the property, the primary use of the property. So it's probably not the primary use of the property, but,
Question?
Yeah.
So they're considering it not a home business or a home enterprise, they're considering it to be a commercial use. And you see it in
And
the
I
section.
read, that's what other towns are treating.
Because if we considered it to be a home business, and that's what I had been considering,
yeah.
I went to rural residential and gave those two definitions. I didn't see that it fit either one, but you had brought up, Roxanne, that it was brought up a home enterprise page. And I think that was added because the planning board at that time was trying to encourage business, as much business in town. And according to the home enterprise on page 62, a home-based business, not meaning anyone with more is subject to this review, but that's not what I'm going for. It explicitly says somewhere here, it does not need a CPU. It needs a,
What are you looking at right there?
yeah, looking at, well, I put this is home enterprise page 62, home offices.
Okay, I went from 61 to 64. Apparently, it was somewhere else. Isn't that interesting, when it's in that particular page?
My concerns about having it is the road and the safety of the road.
So that's,
That was like my concern that I have always thought of with it.
Yeah, I get that, and that's fine, but what are we basing our decision on? Is it home enterprises? Is it on Article 22? Or is it the rural residential?
so right here, I think it's, all right, so what's going to do? So on the home enterprise, if you look at number 3 and A, it's home industry, right? It says a business or trade that is conducted by a resident of the premises, but not necessarily entirely enclosed within the structures. A home industry involves an increase in traffic for employees and delivery vehicles. It is minimal increase in traffic for clients. A home industry may also involve the use of explosives and toxics and waste products. It says limited craftsman, wholesale bakery, or other wholesale food production, small repair, whatever.
But hers is gonna be the opposite, she's gonna have more customers coming in versus everything.
Okay, so I guess,
It's not a home office.
no, no.
I wasn't thinking it was a home industry. I wasn't thinking it as an industry because I was thinking of more than one person.
Yeah, I think it's more home industry.
And you think it's more home industry?
Well, that's, or, I mean, like, sorry, I don't have a page.
62?
But what's that it says, so we have, A is there's 4 categories. So I would say that it's, out of the 4 categories that are available, that we showed here. Within the residence. When we say residence, that means the home, right? Yeah. The house, or an accessory building. It does not involve more occasional business, it does not involve more than occasional business, vehicle, traffic, property, artist, desktop, office, I would think that would be.
No, because it's not gonna be occasional.
And I don't think it would be like a professional uses and customary home occupation.
That does involve decreasing traffic
It
requirements.
does.
Yes.
So, but then you go, then it says, all 3 categories listed in section A.
Here we go.
What is in section A above, is are subject to the following requirements in addition to business outside of section C.
Okay. So if you go to page 64, and it's not a home, and I was assuming it was a home business.
Okay.
And if you don't think it is, home businesses are permitted in all districts. So that would include rural residential, where single-family residence is permitted, without the need for a special exception or a conditional use
Right.
permit.
So that,
And then it says, but all, how about that on 6? It says site plan review at the appropriate level imposed or required for all home enterprises. So that's what governs home businesses. Because while it's a home enterprise, and under that, it's a home business, so it needs a site review. But if you consider it to be a home business, it does not need a special exception or conditional use permit.
all right, so let's see, a home business, are permitted in all districts, what is the definition?
So we're down to 2, home industries and home business, which is,
What's going on, I want to find it.
yeah,
The definitions of it. Here we go, home. Home business, accessory use of a professional service character that has been customarily carried out in the home and conducted within the dwelling by the residents thereof, which is clearly secondary to the dwelling use for living purposes and does not change the character thereof. I mean, I'll throw this out with, this is my thought is, my concern is the traffic.
yeah, it's a bad location.
In stated that it's 8 parking spots, there's not 8 parking spots in that driveway.
Right.
So,
That would be plowed under site review, I'm assuming.
right. So, I mean, that's just my concern. I think it's fine, but my concern is the traffic that's,
And that's a legitimate concern.
because you come up over the hill and you're gonna hit, you know, the people, that's why I think, and I get that Blair said you don't have to, but I mean, I think it would be best to check with the person who is who oversees that road and DOT.
So,
That's
all right, so irregardless of whether it's home business or home industry,
Yeah,
it needs a site review. That's what we base our permit, our
Okay.
approval upon. So then you gotta go to the development regulations under site review.
The other side of the
And
traffic,
I look at, you can argue with me, I may sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I'm struggling here, because this is way out of anything I've ever had to do before. And it's complicated and it's
yeah,
confusing.
well, yeah, I mean,
My remarks be stricken from the record.
so if we go, so if we go, it's right here. So site review at the appropriate level is required for all home enterprises. So But is a home business considered a home?
Yes, because they're all, so if you look at 22,
Yeah.
Article 22 is home enterprises,
Oh,
and
home
under
business,
those
right.
are those four things.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the first step is she needs to do a site review. No matter which one we categorize this as, it needs a site review. That's the
And
alternative.
a home business does not need a conditional use permit or a special exception. They're
53, times 40. Do you happen to know the address off the top of your head, Robin?
I can't handle
Do you know what the address is off the top of your head?
Oh.
I know, no, it's Route 153, but I want to think it's like 142, well, no, it's gonna be an odd number, because, no, it's gonna be an even, it's gonna be an even number, so it might be like 204. You- Well, you don't know. Kiosk.
I want to look it up on the map.
Look at the GIS. You go into the GIS, you can put it in there, but, okay, so we have to do a site review, so then if we go to the regs for that, Kate, where are we?
Well, I'm looking at page in the development regulations on page 20.
Okay. Put your glasses on.
It's not fun. I'm getting bifocals, and they're going to be happy.
All right, so home enterprise, yeah, so it says home enterprises shall require a site plan review in accordance with zoning ordinance article 22B-6.
Okay, B-6 is Wakefield,
Oh,
but ours is Article 22.
all right, well, okay, so so then it says.
Oh, no, it is actually B-6, but it doesn't give you anything other than just repeating what that says.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so then, so I guess the question is, what is the?
What are the site plan review, minimum
Yes.
site plan review regulations?
Yes.
No, that's this.
That's the question, I think that's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get. Minimum minor site plan regulations, page 22. And you can disagree with me, the title is actually on the page
Oh, sorry,
21.
yes,
So
we're on page 21. So
Yeah.
application.
So-
But I mean, our site review application handles both the major and the minor, right? I mean, we have one universal application that applies to both, because that's what we want.
Okay. That I don't know, but
I believe so, right?
I'm not going to argue with it.
No, I believe. So they're gonna have to have, yeah, this is,
Okay, so
I mean, I seriously don't think they're gonna be happy with what we're site review, but that's part of, that's what.
It's 90 Ridge Road, that's not right.
No,
No,
you can stop, that's all right.
I mean,
I've got her application.
I mean, the site
I did
review,
on the text kiosk and she's not there.
the site
Oh,
review,
yeah, but you can look up, I can, look at books. Yeah.
so the site review gives us a chance to see these 8 parking spaces and the traffic.
Second one now.
Okay.
140
140.
Hampshire Route 153. Route 153.
Because I'm looking at it, so 140.
140 Hampshire.
So I think,
So site plan review requires, it costs money,
yeah,
it requires a butter notification.
yeah,
But don't forget, anything in the development regulations can be waived upon request from the applicant. Like they can say, can you waive this, can you waive that?
So it's the house?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
and that is the driveway, and that's not a very good picture, it's a picture of it. But
I was, because I had drove by and I had remembered, and then on my way home, I was like, I need to remember to like look,
yeah,
because I wanted to get like a better visual. I thought it was like closer down, like, because you're on like that open stretch.
it's interesting.
Yeah. And but then like once you pass you,
It's
that's when it's
it's
like,
a 30, I believe it's 35 through here.
made the plot, I would say.
Well, you're coming up right after this.
You're right on top of
You're
it.
coming right up the crossing, because the next house is the house on the corner, which is my house.
Well, what does she think?
Oh, it goes right here, that like,
Yes,
open
yeah,
space now.
well, that's where all that container, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good spot.
Campus,
That's the spot that I worry about, because that's where it gets,
right down there.
So, might need a professional opinion, like the road agent, to say if it's a good lights.
No, it's a state road, we have to go to the state. So I would not, I would not, because it's a state road, I would not refer to Dan, because Dan takes care of town.
That's a good point, that's a good point, yeah. I agree.
That's why I said I would reach out to, I believe it's Joe Whitten who oversees out of the state shed that's down in town shed, state. They call them, one's like a town shed, the other one's a state. But, state bar. But he's out of, right off of Middleton, right down at 75.
oh, is that like, you see it over 16?
Yes.
That like,
Well, you have to actually go down. What you see for 16 is the mobile station, whatever. If you go at the end of that exit, you get off the exit, go down, you hit like, it's Route 125.
yeah.
It's right there in the corner. That's where the state shed is. But Joe Witt, I would reach out to him and say, hey, this person wants to have a little home hot dog cart stand there, which is going to increase traffic and people pulling over. We're looking for you for some type of guidance or saying, because it's a state road.
We can ask the fire and police chiefs, because I don't believe that's a high accident area. No,
So,
the high accident area is usually by Kings Highway.
Actually, I don't think so.
No, it's
Police
right,
chief,
that's,
I think the police chief told me that it was
That's
the
good.
most accidents. Right down by where Judy's,
it's,
oh, yeah.
But down the hill, yes, but I'm just saying, right here, there's a few good things. High traffic area meets a lot of customers.
Right, but you're coming, so you're coming up to go down,
but
whatever.
if I'm coming from the Union Hill,
You're this way, you're coming.
you're coming kind of like up and over. It's not, because if people are gonna hit that and stretch fast, because,
But, so that's what I would say is, right now, I would certainly reach out to him and say, tell him, explain to him what's happening, we want some guidance from them or some
so
recommendations.
she has had, that I'm aware of, the business open at least once or twice. So, do we,
What's hearsay?
well, she advertised it, she advertised her open house.
Well, that's part of the site review. We go there, like, can you said 8 parking spots, where are they? She can show them.
Well, no, site review, if you would come and you show us,
Yeah.
the 8 spots,
Can you show me where?
Yeah, we would ask, I'm just saying, if she's had business there, she had an understanding of, she said she
Well,
had,
she shouldn't be running anything.
okay, well, she's had a test case, she knows the traffic, so she lives there.
No, I get it,
We're risking it with UPS, with propane, with all the deliveries we have. This traffic goes in and out of every street in the town.
You're right, and it would be no different than if she had a party, but it's like if you've got like, if it's lunch hour for the Middleton lumber guys and they're all speed racing down.
wait a minute, no, okay. Whether it's propane, UPS, or whatever, they're not a home business, they are not the home business, they're delivering to residents.
I'm not talking about business, I'm talking about traffic.
Okay, all right.
Just traffic.
Right.
Like the UPS guy comes down every street and they park or they put in a driveway, but that's part of traffic. I'm not talking about the business.
Oh, okay, all right.
And as for the lumberyard rush, yeah, they go to the gas station or wherever they go, but that's already in effect. They want to stop at a hot dog stand, fine, that's,
What I'm saying is like, everybody's in a rush to get somewhere, and they've been using more traffic.
So what I would recommend, like I said, is reach out to the DOT, the Hampshire DOT, who handles that road, and say, Yeah.
All right.
We'll say that state change.
I think we can argue about that all night.
Yep, we can.
But
Yeah,
I think we have
right.
a professional opinion, we think it needs to be, it's because of this estate road, it needs to be the state, we need to know lines of sight. And I don't know that. So I just
And
wanted,
I'm not gonna look at it the way he's gonna look at it.
No, but I'm right, and just say, this is what, so we need your
no,
opinion.
Dan has enough to do with this life, he doesn't need.
And again, it's not a, and I would say definitely not because it is a state road.
Estate road.
And
It's a-
we have nothing to do, the town has nothing to do with that.
Exactly. So moving on.
Yeah.
May I ask if we're all in agreement that on page 22, minor site plan regulations is what we are,
Yes.
is this our guidance? Because this is the only guidance we
Yes.
have. If we're considering it to be a home business.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, right, I think given, I would say, given what we hear from the state, but we could preliminarily say, right now, we know that you're going to be, we've reached out to the state to see, for them to come and take a look and give us some guidance on, the traffic flow or, the lines of sight and everything.
Police chief, accidents,
And, yeah,
report.
so, and say, however, given that, you would need to fill out, you're going to need to do a minor site plan application. And you could note on there that it can be a bit overwhelming, whatever, and there are, as Kate stated, there is the leeway of the.
Well, we need to verify that. I'm pretty sure that you can do a waiver.
A waiver of certain things.
The applicant can ask for waivers on parts of the,
Application.
in fact, that's, I think, how Mr. Bertel didn't have to do what impact fees. It's the waiver applications on page, it's not really page 36. Thereabouts.
Of the development regs?
Yeah. There's supposed to be a waiver application, so if you look up, it actually is page 36, 5.1.
Oh, yeah.
Waiver applications for good cause.
Do we have a waiver application?
I have never seen it. I have not seen it, but that doesn't mean to say you
And
can't
it's
type up a
submitted
waiver
by a
application.
higher standard
Right.
of individual.
Sure, we can find one if
Certain
we need.
requirements, yeah. For good cause in accordance with the procedures outlined in these regulations. Yeah. So that's where I would say we're at right now is, we want to get some information from DOT and potentially the chief.
If she goes ahead with this after, or before, it's not my call, I'm just saying,
After we.
after receipt of the minor.
Oh, right, yes, yes, right, so you can say, we're also
And we-
reaching out to, because they may come back and say, yeah, no, that's,
And then, of course, if we're going ahead with the site plan review, we have to anyway, if she applies for the application, get that information in addition to, and then she has to notify all the abutters. And that's the important thing to me here.
right,
One of the two
yeah,
important things. But right now, she's not really.
right, she should not, she should not be, she should not be engaging in any activities, selling dogs. Do I get, she could have it and say, hey, I don't need to stop by, for hot dogs, donations open, I guess, I don't know.
Well, that wouldn't solve the problem, because
No,
I
but
mean,
it's,
if you're worried about the traffic, whether it's a free or.
No, exactly, like any.
Hot dogs,
but the
now, if she
first-
takes it down to the mill parking lot for lunch, if it's a food truck, that's completely different. You gotta separate that, and again, that's not what she wants, but again, food trucks have been in lumberyard parking lot, that is a no for lunch.
So, and of course, she's got all the state permitting,
That's not.
the health regulations and all of that.
right, so as a part of this, we're finding that.
I think she's all set to have her car anywhere she wants, but to get it, but for her to be able to do it out of her property,
We need confirmation of that.
we need to,
Right, so as a part of the site,
We
we
need to have
can
a
say,
site
we also want to see your certifications.
We'll need all of that,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's, I think that's where we're at right now.
But I mean, if she were
Because
to,
these are just minimum, I'm
but if she
sorry.
were to turn around and say like, forget it, I'm not gonna do it, and she's got everything and she's good to go and she shows up at, you know, Decrezios or Middleton Lumber or some other parking lot, she can function and it's not us.
Could be on the Glacier Beach. For the construction plan.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
She goes to the breezers and
So it'd be
says,
no different if she got like a little roach coach
I mean,
and.
there's a food truck that goes there.
I mean, that's fine, I don't know.
it's on their, they're doing
It's
it
on
on
their
their
property.
property.
I'm sure that they coordinate with Priest, hey, you don't want to put a food truck right there and the candy hammer, etc. Or you could do it.
I just don't know what the law is, that's all.
Well, just like Old Home Day, they had a food truck here.
Yeah, and that's right, and they have other places.
And so we didn't have to approve that they go through their own, like, food trucks go through.
Their own licensing process, and so she's gone through all of that. All right, great, that's good.
Okay. So it's really a matter of, she can kind of go wherever she wants right now, it's a matter of her getting permission from us to run out of her, running out of her.
And does she, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, I'm just curious, because I was thinking, well, she showed us the picture. It looked like a beautiful little machine, but I was just not totally fake fuel in the back of the truck.
I mean, she wants, she can create whatever you want, a hot dog machine, fire in Roxanne's yard. Lunch, if we
My
need.
dog would be very happy with it.
Well, as long as she's following all of the rules, and she certainly had a great plan. We just need to make sure
I
we're
just wanna
dotting,
make sure-
crossing those T's and dotting those
I mean,
I's.
there's only a few places in town that this will work. Because you could have it on any number of back roads, little traffic, no visibility. I mean, if she can, you know, if she can be safe,
I think a butter information or
absolutely.
feedback would be.
We want good neighbors. But when the Brown family had their, you know, birthday every couple of years, you know,
They're not gonna have it.
what I'm just saying, it's like, every time there's a huge birthday over there, there's like 400 cars because it's a big family and the fire department. She can still have birthdays, she's gonna be that.
Well, she ain't doing it anymore.
You know, you're so, no, she's gonna use it. Yes.
Okay. So are we moving, okay.
Yes.
On with this, so.
Where are we at?
So I think we're at the old business, the zoning ordinance, the recommendations from Blair.
I have not, it's been a couple of months, but I have not heard much from Blair, but you did.
There was one email, I'm not sure where, yeah, I printed copies, he asked to have the board review, I assume it's what you guys talked
Yeah,
about.
I mean, we can review these. I also noticed that there's a good summary here, which is the start of a excellent big packet.
Yeah, and then what is the summary?
The summary is at the top. It says
Oh,
bill
yeah,
description, summary,
yeah,
recommended
yeah.
amendments. I don't think we need the whole thing, but it's a good start for a
Oh, okay, yes.
voter notice saying,
Yeah.
Article 1 is we're trying to amend this for this reason. They can ask questions, but it's a good start for, you know, the work's already done.
Right, so I went through, I tried to go through this, the copy that we had originally, and tried to identify, like, certain things are valid, certain things are just, valid, right? Like, so this first one, Article 35, appeal, there's an appeal page 97. This is a ballot item, so this is going to have to go on the ballot. Yeah. Then, which
It
is.
doesn't have to go on the.
No, it's going to. So this one is like the HB 296.
Yeah.
So then the next one we have is an HB 457.
Yep.
That is going to be a ballot, which is going to be Article 20. And I mean, I think we're good with what I think Blair's made the changes. I just want clarification. We know what has to be done with each one, because if it's got to go on the ballot, we need to make sure we hit deadlines to make sure that it gets there. And then the other stuff down the road, we can decide right here.
Well, no, remember the last time we had the problem that we had this information. Voters didn't get why we want to do any of this silly stuff. Hey, we want this to
And I get,
pass.
no, and I get that, but I mean, if it goes on the ballot, then yes, we still have, we have to inform the public, but we need to determine what's ballot and what's regular and what's a developed.
And I think this time we're gonna go about it differently. You're gonna write up a little.
Yeah, put it right up. I mean, if we're
Okay.
not going to promote this, then we might as well just.
So, well, we're not gonna, so HB 457, which is on is Article 20, that's ballot. The next one,
I'm so sorry, you'll have to.
that's the second, it's right in the order of how it's given to us.
So you went to,
We went to the first one.
So it's Article, so the first one is,
CBA appeal deadlines.
so yeah, so HB 296, which refers to Article 35, that's gonna be on the ballot, because that's an article that's in our zoning ordinances.
Okay, Article 30,
Yeah.
which has, it's the CBA.
It's, yeah,
So sorry, thank you.
no, that's all right.
Zoning
And then-
restrictions on dwelling units, that's the ADUs.
So then we go to the next one, which is HB 457, which is zoning restrictions on dwelling units or occupancy, which is Article 20 of our zoning ordinances. That's going to be a ballot.
Yep.
So that's going to be on the ballot. Then you have HB 577, which is accessory dwelling units. That's on the ballot. That's Article 24A. That's got a lot of stuff.
Which one? There's a lot of changes.
HB 577, yeah.
And these are the forced changes upon us from state law changes.
Yes, I like to call them state mandates.
I would strongly suggest.
And then HB 631, which is residential uses in commercial zones, that's a ballot. So that goes under CB1 district residential, commercial, and light industrial. So that's going to be a ballot. I don't know what, under what.
And the blue is his changes.
Yeah, multi-family.
Well,
Yeah.
what-
Oh,
they're red in mine,
Okay.
because that's, I think, from the last meeting.
okay.
Okay, so
The
that
different color, whatever you choose.
So that was HB 631. Then we get to this next one, which is, so under that HB 631, there's that proposed amendment, the C, and it says the B1 district, but it's also, under, it goes on the D, it goes on the next page, so that's all goes on the ballot. But then we have, this one I had a question about, HB 1567, which is home-based childcare facilities. I didn't see this on his list.
So I think,
Which is fine, but it will be a ballot because it's Article 22, home enterprises.
I think with that one, the state's saying that we can't limit it anywhere. Like, it couldn't be allowed anywhere in the.
But it wasn't on his list that he.
Yeah, well, it is on the updated one.
Okay,
In blue,
because I
it's
was
Article
going
22.
through like the list.
Which,
he
this
gave
is
us.
wonderful, because he's got the wording right in here and not
Yeah.
actually changed.
Right,
He's doing all the work for us.
so all right, so that one's okay then, that's good. So HB 1567, home-based child, that's Article 22, that's gonna be a ballot.
We just found out which one about that.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
we should
I'm not saying, no, I wanna go through it. So then there's SB 284, which is the minimum on-site parking requirements, which is Article 20 in the zoning ordinances, so that's gonna be a ballot. Then we have HB 296, which is private roads, that's gonna be a ballot, because that's gonna be Article 5, base zoning districts. And so SB,
This is important for you to straighten this out, but I don't understand. Don't we need to add to our zoning and, no private roads?
so he was saying there should be 200-foot minimum road frontage per individual lot on a road.
Yes.
Yeah, so he had that, yeah, he has that.
And it has to be a class 5 road or better.
No, because that's, it's the, no, it's the,
That's
this
the
is,
new.
this is part of class 6 in the, because if you look at SB 281, which is the next one, Kate, they are both, because it's the same change, so they both have on the ballot, because if it goes, it says frontage, there shall be 200-foot frontage per individual on a road. You cannot say like a town accepted maintained year-round road. That's, because
That's
what
what
happens.
it says now, like,
Huh?
I think it says now, it'll be town meeting.
Yes, and that's what he's saying to take out, because how we're handling it now is how we can choose to handle it, and he said there's 2 different ways. And, one of them was basically they need to get permission, or to, I say permission, but they need to, I guess, like permission to build on like a class 6 or a private road. But part of that is that they need to get that, I say waiver, they need to fill out that paperwork with the Stratford County Registry of Deeds.
They come to the planning board, they come to the select
Yes.
board. I thought that was my understanding as well. And then I watched, and then John met his class 6 roads, and they said that you must put a provision, it's a class 5 or better, to protect the town.
No, because
I'm
this is
not going to argue with you, but
No,
that's my
but this is
understanding.
what this SB thing is saying, building on class 6 road. It says, that's if you read it, approval of the select board would review a comment of planning board would no longer be required. Instead, the applicant must provide a liability waiver to the town, record it with the registry of deeds, and prove that the lot and any buildings are insurable. Because you cannot say you can't build on a class 6 road or a private road.
We just have to have them send a waiver.
Right.
Perhaps.
Does the state have a waiver,
So,
Well, no, we would come up with a form, have them fill it out, and it has to be recorded at the state.
I just didn't know if the state will have it.
That's exactly.
And have public land, because they don't do that with everything else.
The zoning ordinance does require frontage on a class 5 road.
that's
A
what it
variance
says.
from the ZBA would still be required to build on a class 6 road. But then again, see, then they added that. The statute is not affected, so there's no point in even, I guess they're trying to fill in that gap. But a municipal zoning ordinance can require frontage of a certain length on a class 5 road, that's your 200 feet or better.
Yeah.
However, the municipal ordinance must clearly state this requirement by defining the road as class 5 or better, and that's where those.
Ours says 200 feet of town maintained.
Yes,
So-
town
So-
accepted and maintained.
So are they is he changing the wording in that to a class 5 or better? Because that would clarify it even more. Because a class 5 is town maintained.
Right.
So I mean, does it mean, are you saying we meet class 5 or better? Because it is town maintained?
No, you can't, because it says he's recommended we take out the town accepted and maintained road, because you can't deny someone building on a class 6 or private road. But part of that is, but what they need to do is fill out that waiver with the registry of deeds, because then that tells them that, it's, you understand?
So I wanted to build,
Can I see
Yeah.
your copy? Because our copy doesn't look as good as that, right?
so basically, if Jim wanted to build down
We did.
on his class 6,
Now, where'd you get this from?
he would have
That
to send a
was
waiver.
at my last meeting.
We didn't deny the permit.
Well, we can until we have that waiver of liability. That form, before the building permit can be issued, that has to be filed. And that's my interpretation, my opinion. And that's
Whereas before, we could just say no.
Right, you can,
I wish we had a copy
or
of it.
basically you could say,
What's that?
Well, see, hers is different.
Yeah, see, I don't have that, I wasn't at the meeting.
But we could,
that's,
This is
that's,
what
oh,
you
you
sent
said,
it out.
what's
This is
that?
the update that you sent, so I'm not sure.
Where's the one that's It's Laura Gibson. Look up Laura Gibson.
Well, we're gonna make it
It's
clear.
Latin to me.
You know.
Oh, so, okay, then also you're looking at.
No, just if you say, look,
Yeah, see, no, it's not.
they changed the law, we have to make the zoning. We got with the state law, we
So this is based off of what we had from our last meeting, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I get that.
Okay, but
But
that's,
we'll have to have them clarify that, because this is important to me, but because, I mean, I can't see the fire department, seeing a fire alarm on top of the
that's
box
why,
and running their trucks up.
that's why they have to, that's why they have to do that waiver of liability.
I get it.
See, it's a
Men are still men,
liability.
and women are still women, and they see somebody that needs help, they're not gonna say, they're gonna say, we don't care what you sign, we're coming to help you.
No, but if they can't get up there to address it,
if they physically can't get that tanker up there because it's gonna get.
If they can just marginally get it up there, they're gonna do whatever it
I
takes.
mean, by all
to
means,
get
if they
it.
have,
Oh,
20
stop.
buckets and they do the bucket brigade, by all means, they can go ahead and do it. but-
so we'll make,
They'll run that truck if they can get it up there.
so we'll make note that we need to look at HB 296 and SB 281, just to make sure we're good with
Because
that.
we also need somebody to look up, you know, Paul, look up definition of lorem ipsum.
It's flat.
It's gotta be that.
Okay, so, all right, so we'll circle back to that. I like my phone. Then we have HB 413, which is vesting. This is a non-ballot, it's a planning board can vote on this.
That was what it was, so we can do the hearing. Do we have to do a hearing? Or we don't necessarily have to do a hearing, but
So that's the only
is
one.
that the one that they said, like, you don't have to necessarily do the formal hearing, but it's good to do the hearing? Or
This
is
is,
it?
this is like pulling all this stuff out and putting all this new information in. So I think we
Yeah, what I'm confused though is he's telling us on the updated version that we don't have to. We're saying discussion, additional follow-up, no, recommended, somebody recommended change. We have to ask.
Yeah,
Which one are you at?
Just,
the last one.
SG.
yeah, the last page.
So.
Proposed amendments, Article 3.
This way, I don't know what he's telling us.
SB 281.
He's not telling us we need to do anything.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, the other one was pretty clear about what we're.
So those are the same. That looks the same.
So approval of the select board to review and comment by the planning board will no longer be required. Now,
So-
I thought that's what the law was adding in.
Okay, so wait, so it says it's no longer required, instead an applicant must provide a liability waiver to the town. So they must get it recorded with the registry of deeds. So they're already recording it and doing the waiver, so we're not giving them the waiver to fill out. They have to,
Pretty sure we have to give them a form.
Well, we'll probably have to give them a form that needs to be filled out, and then they record it with the registry.
It
I
says
mean-
they know there's not emergency,
Right, that,
When you say
Can be
we,
restored.
you mean the selectmen.
the select.
yeah.
or is
I
it
think
just
the
a letter
planning board's
saying?
out of it, that's the way I.
That's the way I'm looking at that, but when I looked at the law, I thought we were very much in it.
No, it's, they have to, yeah, well, now we have to compare what he gave us here to here, because
Yeah,
And I-
it's not real black.
this makes me sad.
Just the something will
Because
go.
I did due diligence, highlighted and everything.
It's probably gonna need, no, it needs, no, it just needs,
Yeah,
something will go
so
here.
we had two-
So he's working on that.
It just looks a lot better than pending.
Is that what you think he's gonna give us more information?
No, Lauren Ipsum is a graphic designer note for placeholder.
So
Placeholder,
it's a
yeah.
placeholder.
Well, I mean, something could fit there in the future.
Oh,
It could be the Chicago hot dog recipe from our neighbor down the street.
Anybody agree with that?
here he's the road, he was talking about chili the last time. Like in rare form last month.
Oh, so where it says like under what we have here for the 290s, this I think is a little bit cleaner as far as what's gonna come out, what's gonna go in. So, but why, yeah, but wait a minute. He didn't.
No, he didn't put it in.
He doesn't have Article 5 in here. Yeah, so he's not showing that this town is.
He's got 5A in here, take everything out.
No, but if I'm looking at, so this is where it says the private verbal, because then here it says like discussion and additional follow-up needed. He says the select board, planning board shall be aware of. So this is just kind of making us aware that we need to do this, which I get that, that's kind of notes or whatever. But it says proposed amendment. He has that long Ipsum, and under the one that I have from last meeting, it's like, it's the actual verbiage that's under that Article 5 base zoning. He's got the Article 5 base zoning district, and it's like D2, and he has the red comments up, and then here, he doesn't have, he has that long Ipsum.
Yeah. Well, I guess he's not done with it yet.
And it's the same with 281, it's the same, it's like I got all this kind of detail, but then it's like, I guess that what this would be, discussion, it's kind of like, some cliff notes maybe, just to say, this is what was discussed, this is.
I think because I think that was the version that he did after him and I did the Zoom
Okay.
meeting. And then to say here, like review all of this.
But I guess, but my question, like the case thing is like, so we have this, we talked about it here,
Yeah.
we have this recommendation, now there's no proposed amendment, what happened? Because my understanding is, should there be a proposed amendment, or does there not need to be a proposed amendment?
Well, we gotta put it somewhere.
No, but I'm just saying, we have it, but now,
Or did he just clean it up, but then forget to take this out?
We don't need to discuss it, Christine does with him, and we need written
Right.
confirmation about what he
right, so I
does.
would just say.
If you don't want to call him, then our clerk can call him.
I would just ask.
But I don't like 2 or 3 people calling him because
No, I'm
then
not
it just gets
gonna call him.
confusing.
I would just ask, based off of this HB 296 and SB 281, there's no proposed amendments in this latest.
We need
document.
clarification.
Yeah, there is from before, so did something change that we're not aware of?
So we're good, we're really good until this point.
Yeah,
And then moving on, I think will be.
yeah, so I think everything else is fine, from what I can see. I'll
But
keep my piece original.
whoever's going to contact Blair, I would ask this one thing, and this is serious and it's important to me, is why is the New Hampshire Municipal NHMA suggesting that you have class 5 or better in your zoning and in your subdivision regulations?
You mean, why they're saying to have,
Yes. Why you need to have those added to protect yourself from class 6 subdivision or private road subdivision?
no, I think.
Maybe because now we can't stop somebody
Right.
from building on the class 6.
Right.
We don't need to talk about it. We'll
No,
just
I think
see
that-
what he says.
No, but I mean, I think that's kind of what he was
We
saying.
got other things coming.
When we talked about it, was basically the goal is not to try and restrict people from being able to build wherever, because, you know, we have this housing population shortage.
So,
So
For
we
your
should be able
guy,
to,
you don't
so we
sit-
should just be able to let them build. That's what I was kind of getting, and I'm like, oh.
Well, I feel like there's parts of town that are a little more rural than others, and people take
So-
the risk for privacy.
So what I did, I just want to keep in an effort to keep things moving.
It's fine to take the risk if you're consenting to go. When you put children in danger of their lives, we don't have adequate septic facilities or water facilities.
So what I did is, this,
So you're just
this,
wide open.
this pamphlet that we got from him, it says the New Hampshire Legislative Toolkit, which has got like all 30 or whatever he said. I did try to go through those ones and identify the ones that I kind of put check on, the ones that we haven't been, the 10 that he addressed, so we don't have to worry about those because those are here. But it's like there's like 20 other ones, right? So I was trying to figure out, so if you can look at the chart, it's kind of somewhat helpful because it says, it's a,
So the highlight is
it's right here,
One right here.
right here.
Didn't he already look
Got
at,
it, thank you.
didn't he already look at the ones that are affecting us directly?
So the orange
We
ones,
looked at
the,
10 out of the 30.
yeah,
So we
Because-
have to look at the other 20.
because
Or
I think
if
that,
we hire him, maybe he can look at some more.
yeah. I never got, he never came back to me about like I think he's just been so straight out busy.
So, yeah, so wait a minute, let me just say this. So there are only 9 highlighted on here, but he said he's done 10, so I'm missing, I think I did this, we're missing one.
1, 2, 3.
So with that, I was looking at this, I think the ones that we need to look at first and foremost that aren't highlighted, because those are the ones he looked at first, are the ones under the zoning change column, because those are, required to ballot, I think. See where it says that? Because if it's a land use, that's, I think, a development reg. If it's procedural change, we can work on that, or building code, and then there's other. Because if you look at all the ones that he kind of highlighted, they're all Xed in the zoning change. So that means, so really, though, that which is good, there's only one, there's three.
So the X's are the ones that we have to
I
remove?
think that, yes.
Or like that?
Those are the ones that should be, yes, those are the ones that
It
should
says
be,
X is very likely the changes, updates will be made, need to be made.
yeah.
Municipal code versus.
Oh, for highlighted,
No, not highlighted.
for highlighted Norwich, CRPC has funding to support municipalities.
And that's what he focused, that was his main focus.
And that's those right here, Kate, those are the ones we just talked about. So now the ones I went through and said, okay, let's look at the X's that are under the zoning change that aren't highlighted orange. So that would be HB 168, HB 265, no, sorry, HB 168, HB 272, and SB 95. Because those are really, and again, I would look at, so like, well, just use this SB 95. Youth recreation cabins and state buildings and fire codes. That's probably just going to be a straight, I mean, I don't.
We don't even have an ordinance, do we?
Right, so if we don't, so that's a good question, say, if we don't have an ordinance for the splitter, how do we handle this? Do we need to handle this?
No, we don't. If it's going to be state law, then the state law will.
It would be no
guide us.
different than if we didn't have
Right,
an
so-
ordinance,
right,
because
so-
they're going according to the state law.
Right, that's, and we just want that clarification.
Okay.
That's what I was. So then it's like exempting, so HB 272, which is on the prior, the first page, says exempting certain agricultural practices from municipal noise regulation. Do we have something about that? I don't know.
No, sure we
If
don't.
we don't, then we probably don't.
I'm not even going to think about it.
And then the last one, which is the one, HB 168, is municipal public works facilities and impact fees. I have a feeling this one might impact us. And so that would be the one I would have more for us. So these other ones, like I think the land use regulation, that would probably be like our development regs. Do people agree with that? We've got them all covered, so we don't have anything there. Then there's these other ones that are procedural changes, which are fine, because we can kind of work on those, you know, take them one at a time. And, well, like, okay, so the first one, HB 265, public body meeting minutes. I'm pretty sure, I'm not really sure, the procedure is making sure that the person's name who took the minutes is on it. They don't have to sign it, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like that's what that HB 265. Actually, if you look it up, maybe you can look it up and see. Yes, it says, act requiring that a public body's meeting minutes include start and end times of the meeting and the printed name of the recording secretary. So I'm pretty sure we're good with that, you know? So that's, I think, so those ones, like where it's procedural change, we can kind of discuss those in meeting, in the next couple of months meetings and say, yes, we did that, or we need to make this change. And same with like the building code in the other. That's just
No, that sounds like.
my thought on how to go forward with it. You know, we really need to concentrate maybe on the first and second columns.
We need to concentrate on what we have to put on the ballot, because there's a strict timeline.
Yeah, we got to schedule these.
No, so given that from what.
No, there's a strict timeline, because you have to have everything
No, I know.
submitted, so
Right.
that's why,
That's why I'm saying, we all agree, Blair did the bulk of the heavy work of the ones that were me.
Yeah.
There's these three that are still outstanding. Two of them we believe we don't need to do anything because
we have an ordinance.
it's all ordinance. The only one that we want to look at is that HB 168. If that's the one he can work on for us, we'll pay him because we have the money. Then I think we're good to the back.
Yeah.
So,
Then the next ones we look at are the land use stuff because that's the development regs, which right now it looks like those all been handled by him. Yeah. So that's good. Then we would look at the procedural changes. And we would look at those for each, we could go through.
Oh, yeah, we need those in our, which is coming up, our rules and procedures.
Right.
And those are specifically outlined for planning board and CBA.
The recusal.
Yeah, so you can just-
HB 92,
yeah, so-
HB 92.
We'll be looking at those.
Yeah, so it says update your ZBA and planning board by rules and procedures when that.
Yeah, and we need to adopt those, and that would be in there.
Yeah. So that's like HB 92, then if we looked at HB 265, which is the, we would make that no action part, we just need to make sure that it says that the meeting minutes include start and times, meeting, and printed aware of it. I get
They
the
already-
title, but I guess my description, though it says that description, I would want to make sure that it says, I guess it's particular, it's RSA 91, but I would prefer that it says, along with the body's meeting minutes include start and end time, as well as you have to know any motions that are made and the outcomes of motions along with the printed, you know what I mean? Because that's all
Yes,
that
you
was
do.
Already
You're right.
in the 91A rules.
I think so, but it just says, maybe they're calling out people who haven't been doing the start time and the end time, and then the person who's taken it has been signed.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
It depends with highlighted in yellow. Why is that? I don't know.
Highlighting in yellow where?
Like the seat pacer.
It's not highlighted in yellow on your copy, I don't.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah, thank you.
All right.
I think maybe, yeah, I don't know.
I can explain about the seat thing, so it was, nobody knows about that. There was a silent webinar on that today.
So, okay, so then, I just want to, as we're going down that change procedure, so we look at the HB 291, 296, and see what they're asking for our change procedures. 296. HB 290, so that's the enact relative tuition of the, oh, so this is probably going to talk about, update any policies on this speech to develop on private road and regulations to limit the appeal period to 30 days. So we would put that in our regulations. Reducing the time.
In our public body meeting minutes, is that where we're still at? You're doing that before the.
You know, public body, no. So the public body meeting minutes, if that's what it's saying, that they want to have start time and stop time, and then the person who's taking the minutes to put them in.
And that, I think we do that already, so.
Right, but I think it needs to be included
In our rules of procedure.
Well, he says too, nothing has to change in the ordinance, just have to make people aware of it. It
Right.
says that right there.
It could be another town.
Actually, say,
Yeah, it's in our procedures, it's not in our, it's not an ordinance or anything like that. So, next, that's it for the procedures. Because the waiver of building under class 6 go along with the same as the building on private roads, those two the same. So that's good, then we gotta look at the building codes section, which is, there's like,
No, we don't have anything to build.
well, no, we don't, but I guess we would say make Carl aware that he has to be aware of these things.
And the building code was just signed into law, correct me if I'm wrong, but every town will be following the state code in 20,
What the
26.
I thought they were supposed to already. That was just a
No,
matter of.
no, some towns did have their own building codes in addition to, and now you can, I don't know if you have that in addition to.
So, so I'm just gonna pull this one that falls into other. I'm gonna pick this HB 399 because it's the only one that has that category checked, so I wanted to just kind of look at it. So it says, actions none at this time, municipalities can attend meetings of the commission once formed, submit testimony, and keep apprised of final. So this is an act establishing a commission to study New Hampshire zoning enabling act in relative to the effect of the C-PACER program. So this is just kind of an FYI.
C-PACER?
That's what it said.
Yeah, C-PACER is our private loans to municipalities or individuals to do solar panels. But it's the long-term loans and lower interest loans, they may get like a lower interest, and that's what C-PACER is. It's an acronym for yes, and I know it was going to be on here. They're putting that, they're trying to get that into law. Is it going to be enacted January 1st?
So that's
Next day.
So if like the town willing to go.
Yeah, it might be, yeah, or, yeah, it just, it means that anyone in town can accept these long-term private loans that may or may not have a very good interest.
So I think we have a game plan to move forward with this, right?
Yeah, that sounds like the most logical.
Just clarification on a private class 6 loans, that's all.
Right, I mean, because like, I'll have to go home and kind of do it from here, from what I'm getting tonight from what I had, just to make sure.
And if you didn't get a chance to see that, New Hampshire Minnesota Local Association thing, made a whole thing on the do's and don'ts of class 6 and private roads. I'm pretty sure they suggested class 5 or
that's
better.
what it said, but I don't understand.
Well, right, you did this, right, to do this, but then you have a presentation to say this. So where is the continuity?
Yeah, see, that's government to work there about it.
Yeah. That's government, it's fine, that's all you show, yeah. All right, so that's the, So recommendations, corrections, definitions of.
I just, on the zoning ordinance, I just wanted a couple of things. This page, Katie,
What page?
well, hold on, well, yeah, you do have it. Was this you? I think I rewrote it. Special provisions were part of the
That's not my writing.
Is that your writing?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's anywhere in town. If you're creating a lot,
Okay,
no part of it, no my wetland may be considered part of the minimum.
okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do anything with
No.
that. I guess that's my question.
So what, all right, so wait a minute, underneath this old business, we have corrections, and we have definition of structure, fences, lot
Right.
minimum.
And what I wanted you guys to know, the warrant articles are in from last time.
Yeah.
Okay, everything was changed in the zoning ordinance. Everything that was approved was changed in the zoning ordinance. The thing about the fences, somebody had asked me, I think it was Kate, that there's a line that got dropped under the definition
Oh,
of
yes.
structures were related to fences. And I think, I don't know why, but if you look, it says, are you in favor of the adoption proposed to amend Article 36 definitions to edit structures, to change the wording and definitions to clarify what structures are and their applicability? And for some reason, and it must have been Blair, translated that to drop that last sentence.
Because what I have here for structure says, whether a paved dwelling uses this shall exclude patios, driveways, walkways, parking lots, whether paved or not, fences, beds, flagpoles less than 45 feet in height, and walls less than 42 inches in height, which are not obstructed driveway line, etc.
Period.
Here.
That's the new one.
Yeah.
The version before that had another line in it that said, this does not include walls, fences, mailboxes, less than 42 inch no windows. The whole thing was, the warrant article that was accepted said that that paragraph should be clarified, but there was no actual approach. Because the whole thing was about the fences. The fences require a fence of 42 inches and 45 inches. And then the question was, are fences a structure or not?
By definition, aren't they?
Yes. So what they wanted to do was to add structure, it's over 45 inches of structure. So my whole thing is, I don't know how we do it, because the warrant article is already approved. I gave you some wording
No, the
here.
warrant article was not approved on fences. I thought it was.
It was, yeah, I think it's on the.
No, structures. Oh, was it?
No,
Okay.
fences got shut down.
So that answers that question, then it has to go back to the way that it was.
That's what they
And I can do that.
Okay.
Wait a minute, these two. So that didn't, okay. Then, and the other thing is like Article 14, it should say 44. My other thing is just, if there's typos, I know we don't need approval to correct them. So as you find them, like you did tonight, use for use, I made a note of it, just let me know, and I'll go through and I'll change those.
Or the Town of Wakefield, Section 28.
Kate pointed that out, already changed that in a few different places.
Okay, so.
But send it to me in writing, or just tell me and I'll make a note, so. I know what I'm getting at, is I have a folder. I mean, this is all zoning ordinance stuff that people have told me about. It doesn't need approval, or some that doesn't.
Well, you realize we put those errors in place so that we know you're paying
Let
attention.
me look at that fence thing.
So it says, right, so I'm just want to go back, so you have definition of structure fences, then we have lot minimum wetlands, so what are those two, are those under definitions as well? Is that what we're?
What are we talking about?
Lot, I don't have a lot, do we need to, are you looking to say, are we looking to add a lot minimum, because I don't see it in our definitions.
No, it's not under definitions.
It's on, right here, it's under this, I don't know what this means, it's Roman numeral 3, it says definitions of structure, fences, comma, lot, minimum, and wetlands.
Oh, yeah, that was this page, and Kate said that you don't need to change anything.
Okay.
She was questioning it, I think, but I don't know if you want to talk to her. but-
What was the page number?
You gave me a note that said that, and I wasn't quite sure what that was about.
Oh, this is on this stuff.
Obviously, I'm totally blanking, and I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I mean, it will come to me, and I Can I call you at midnight
It
tonight?
was probably a while back, and it was in my zoning ordinance.
Is it on the stuff that from Blaine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nothing to do with Blair.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a tax.
That's
So,
all right.
so we're good then?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So then we have ongoing recommendations, yeah, that's just something.
You're going way too fast.
So I guess,
I just wanted you guys to know, in general, if you find something in the zoning ordinance, I have a file on it. If you find something minor that needs to be corrected, let me know. And I can just correct it.
So lot minimum is 5 acres of buildable land, not lots.
Right.
That has nothing to do with, it's not definitions, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that was.
Oh, okay.
That was a separate thing.
Come back to
can we ask, I think Chef Megan, if, so when we go and we do up our ballots and we do these long ordinances, can we ask them if we can put like, where, like a yes and no, like, yes would approve, would change the ordinance to state, the new state guidelines, like a summary.
We have to put that on.
No.
We don't have to put that on. That was down.
Yeah.
That's what you have to provide, that's what we're gonna need to provide for today.
The only reason why I ask is because like I know in Mass, that's like, for all of like the warrant articles that are like lengthy, it will say like, yes means, it goes to this, no means it defaults to this.
Oh, maybe, I mean, maybe something like that.
Wouldn't Blair know that? Blair know that?
He didn't know. I asked him and he was like, I'm not sure, you have to ask. Like,
Oh, I
the state."
still heard today, yeah.
Well, I mean, the trouble is, we already, last year, we had 14 amendments, and it was long enough.
We're gonna have, at least have any addition.
Exactly, so,
People are gonna just rush through and be like, I don't want to change anything.
yeah, well, that's why we have,
Yes, 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 yes.
we have a separate sheet, we put online, put on the website, we put it, we can't leave it in the polls, but I think we put the amendment 10 means this. You know, people have a hard time reading this as it is. They're not
But
gonna,
you also have to be very careful on what you're writing, because you have to state just the facts, you can't put a slant on it,
no.
because that's what happens.
Yeah.
Can you just say the following articles are meant to put us in compliance with state regulations and then just list them?
Like even so, like even for like the school budget, like I'm always like, is the answer is no, is the answer is no. And it's like you would say like, yes means that the budget would go to this, no means it would default to this.
Well,
Be right, yes.
Either way, if they approve or disapprove, it's still going to be state law, and we still have to comply to them.
Well, and then, or
Which is really odd, right? Okay, so
It's
why?
really, it's frustrating, because I feel like we're doing this for,
But even
we're putting ourselves through this for
so
nothing.
even if we could just say like, yes means that we would then now be complying with the state law.
I don't,
well, I'll draft up something and we'll,
I think we're on the right track.
That's a good idea.
Because both are, I think we should
John, that's
just
an
move
idea,
on.
right? Not-
Because I remember like when I was like young and first voting in Massachusetts, it was like, I remember reading like this huge thing of like, well, oh, and then I like go to the bottom and it was like, saying yes means that you agree to 80-foot setback, and no means that you wanted to stay to 50. Or, you know,
The only thing about that fence regulation I'd like to say is, it seems to me 100 years ago when I was on, it was only applied applicable to the Money Shore area, and that made sense. To put that 42 inches town-wide and over to the beginning, that makes no sense. So, if we can think about that, or, you know, whatever we have to do, but,
no matter what we put out, how clear it is, if they don't read it, it doesn't matter.
well, and that's why I like to be able to put next to the yes and no, like,
you both have some great ideas.
you
there.
say yes, you're saying yes to this, and you say no, you're saying
Advertising and clarification.
And we were invited,
because there's gonna be people like my husband who don't really go on social media. Well, he's gonna be in the next booth.
Why are you throwing John under the bus?
No, this will be John, it's the booth next week. What am I saying?
okay.
well, we
Oh, my
also
God.
can take advantage of the selectmen's fair offer last year. They want to discuss the zoning articles. We'll send someone, we'll have a cheat sheet, and there'll be 2 people in the
So
room.
John will be there.
I'll be there, yeah, I can talk.
All right.
And then Roxanne will say, yeah, that's what it says.
All right, so,
On to the next.
yeah, so it says town ordinance and other documents, what to be added to website.
We talked about putting everything in one place.
And you did a great job. It was fantastic.
Well, this is what we have.
Everything is,
This is what the police department has, what's in the office,
oh,
what's in Ken's office, and what's in our book.
oh, okay,
There's like a bunch of, my whole point is there's a bunch of different versions of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be huge for somebody to go through all this and figure out what's concepts. So,
so we've got the documentation now, the next.
Well,
I said I did a good job, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
So for like, for example, so there's, I hate that they're called town ordinances, but like, the town ordinance is like, you have to have a trash can, and it has to have a lid.
That's the selectmen's.
But nobody can find that information because everything's like all over. And I've been asking for months now that we get everything put on. So if somebody says, is there a noise, like what's the noise ordinance?
That's select.
But, yeah, okay, you're right, maybe it is, but the good example of that is in Middleton, the buildings, right? Where is this? It should be
That's
somewhere,
the select, that's the town
Yeah.
ordinance.
It should have been put in with the town ordinance.
but
It's not online, I mean, I think it got put in online because it was demanded to be put on, you know, I had to have
So,
it.
yeah.
There are some things that people think are like planning board things, like, I mean, there are people that think that the trash thing. I get people all the time yelling at me, isn't there a trash can ordinance? And I'm like, just because it's an ordinance.
I've seen it, I know you don't have a copy of it, but let's move on, because there's so many. That's, to me, that's a selectmen's thing.
And I would agree with that, so
Okay.
I mean, and I can take that from you, Robin, but I also agree that,
It should be
right, I mean,
online.
it should, yeah.
No, but I
need
think
to go through it and make sure what we have is current or
Yeah.
whatever. And then, yes, then get it on.
Because it's
Yeah,
a noisy neighbor ordinance, and the only people that have it are the police.
Yes.
And you have to
Because
go
that was-
looking for it.
So, yeah, so
Because
I'm glad, the police have it, that was voted on by the selectmen or the
Yes.
town.
You're right, it's not the planning board.
It's not planning board, but it's a selectmen thing, and that should be under the selectmen's
Under the
big
town,
book
what we
of town
call
ordinances.
Yeah.
Not zoning ordinances, town.
Yeah.
So, Robin, I will follow.
Yeah, okay, and I mean, it's not gonna be done overnight, right?
No, but
I'm just
I-
saying that
I agree with you.
that's a thing.
Yeah, okay.
New business, okay, this is mostly Kate, I think, statutory duties, rules of procedure.
Yeah.
That list you
We
gave
need
me,
to
we
go,
wanna make
we
sure
need
that's
to adopt the
incorporated.
rules of procedures. Has anybody had an opportunity to look at it? If not, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm ready.
But there's one thing that we need to do is to add the, it's going to be the alternates. That's going to be by state law required to have
Oh,
that.
yeah.
My question is on quorum. I believe a quorum in our body is 4, because there's supposed to be 5 regular members and the selectmen, and the selectmen says to me when you're not here. So if we don't have 4, it's not a quorum, and I don't believe you can operate in that way. I think you've been thinking 3 is a quorum. And I could be wrong, but I'm thinking 4 is a quorum.
No.
That's gonna be a majority of
Your
3.
body is
5
5,
plus 1,
but is it 5 plus 1?
you're the plus 1.
No, but is that?
Yeah, well, that's what I will clarify.
I can look that up because that should be right in the,
From what I
So
read,
we-
the board of selectmen rep has same powers as any other member.
no, right, but I was, but I thought I was counted as the 5, not as the addition of 5 plus 1. I wasn't the plus 1.
You're the plus 1. But you know what?
I'm gonna look in the, I have a book at home that says like who it,
If you don't want to do that.
So I was told for like budget committee, because like last year when we needed to have our hearing, and we ended up, I think we ended up for our quorum.
yeah,
It's like, I was told, so it was funny because I was told that, oh no, we could have 3 as long as there was 3 of us, which I was like.
So I looked up the budget committee, and you were created, the warrant article for 5, and then you've got village district, you've got school board, and you've got the other one, so that makes 8. So I'm not sure, so if it's 8, the quorum would be 5.
Yeah.
But that's not that's my crazy.
because they all have, they all have a voting, they all have a voting,
They
they
all
can
vote.
vote. So I mean, if you can all vote, then you're, so it's based off of 8, not 5.
My request is, if Robin, and again, I say Robin, it could be Chris, it could be me, but just one person ask New Hampshire Legal Services, 5-member board, plus the selectmen's, what's a quorum?
No, I would say, I want clarification, is the ZBA, or I mean, is the planning board a 5-member board, is that include your selectmen or not?
Because I'm looking at,
Well, if we have 4 people on the planning board, we cannot have 4.
No, but we're supposed to be for.
when the board was created,
Well,
and I
if
have
they
that.
show up, that's great, but, we don't have the people. I understand if we have,
So if we don't have the people, then we don't have a board and the selectmen do it all.
well, that's going to be. I'm saying, we only have 4 people, we need at least,
We need some.
we need 1 or 2.
That's not our, that's
I'm not looking to, like I said, let me check what I have, but I agree. And I don't have a problem sending that email to legal inquiries regarding about, and let me look at the book, then I'll come up with a question, Kate, and I'll kind of circle back to say, this is what I'm going to send, is this make sense of what we're trying to ask?
That's when, I think that it was, the board was created for a 5-member board back in 19.
Right, but
I have that, I have that.
include,
No, I don't think so.
well, I'm not
That's-
gonna say that, but I mean, the definitions of, if you look in the RSA, might mean that.
Well, based on this, that means there's only 2 planning board members and 2 reps here.
No, there's 3 planning board members and 1 rep.
Well, I'm a rep too, it says right here on my fancy sign, it makes me feel better.
But there's no requirement for Sunrise Lake Village District board.
No, I'm just saying, is there a title of formality?
No, it's by law, it's part of, there has to be, it's a selectman at this board. None of the other boards are required by law, but they can be there.
Right. I mean, I'm
So
just
if we
saying-
don't have a selectman at our board, can we have our meeting? If it's, because ultimately,
No. Well, that's a good point, you have to have 4.
Yeah, then form.
Yeah, and we only have 4 people.
Well, you can have the meeting, but you just can't make any voting decisions.
Well,
If we have a quorum, if you have enough people in the selectmen represent there, then you can. Right now, we're only at more than 4. But if we had another member,
If we have full count, we're okay, I'm not worried about that. But we only have 4 people who are on the board.
No, we need more people.
Well, no, I'm not
we all
saying,
know that.
I'm just saying, if we have 4 that show up, I mean, do we need 4 people at the forum all the time? Because we could have,
That's the question.
we get, well, no,
Well, no, we're gonna.
well, yeah, but by law, we have to have a meeting with the forum every month.
So the other thing, can we move on?
Yeah.
Because that's a.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Rules of procedure.
I'm just
So
wondering
wait,
what I'm
did we
talking about.
cover the statutory duties? Is that what that was? We just want to make sure.
Well, I think Kate's point was we need to make sure the statutory duties are in the rules.
Included in the rules of procedure,
I
so
have
that
not
future
looked at
boards
that.
know that this is a requirement.
Okay.
When I was on the board 100 years ago, we all had copies of each of the driveway regulations, we had excavation, we had all of it.
Yeah, but none of that is what to do quorum people. What happens if we need 4 people or 5 people?
We're
or
going
20?
to get clarification on that.
Where are we going to get people?
Well,
If we can't get the other people and we can't fill a quorum, then the planning board is dissolved and the duties of the planning board fall on the select.
Well, then we got,
just like the code enforcement officer.
all right, let's go on. Duties of the clerk.
okay.
So,
Yeah, so, but I just want to suggest that what I'll do, Kate, that I didn't get to it, is go through your statutory requirements and make sure that they are in the rules of procedure, and then get an updated version.
Well,
I think that's, unless you want to just add them now.
I would just, you don't even have to be in the rules of procedure, but, just issue to everybody so that they know that, it's
I would put
planning
them
board.
in, then if that's the case, I would put them in there.
I don't know.
No, I think it's,
I think it makes sense, it's all in one place.
yes, I think so. It makes it cleaner. Okay,
Yeah.
what I mean, it's cleaner.
I mean, I look at A, B, and C as all one thing.
Right.
So I'll do that, and I'll bring a draft to the next
Perfect.
meeting.
A, B, and C are one thing.
Yes.
Well, I
But
mean,
they're all in the same.
they all kind of go.
They all go into your rules of
Rules
procedure.
of procedure, well, the other thing about rules of procedure, so fine, I don't know if you've had a chance to go review the duties of the clerk. It does
Yeah.
say
Oh, yeah.
that the clerk does the
That's what we're
agenda.
asking you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother thing, the job description. No,
Was that-
that's what I do, that's.
But I might-
Right, I know,
Okay.
and are you good with that?
Well, that sounds like tentative.
Are you are you good with doing the agenda? Because most boards have the chairman do the agenda.
She passes it along to me and helps me. but-
Either or.
Yeah,
Well, I was gonna say, I think you do it in
Oh.
collaboration.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I kind of.
She kind of gets it ready for me and I
Um,
have it and say.
Another thing is the website should it be required that the planning board clerk be able to use a website? I'm looking at, we're not talking about the people involved here, I'm looking at the future, and I'm remembering the past,
Yeah.
and looking at hiring somebody, or it would be, they have to have those kinds of skills.
Well, yeah, because it's like if this whole select board goes and Robin goes, and then they're like, oh no, we need to like replace it, it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I mean, this is already happened in the past.
Yeah, no, I wish I had had this when I started.
And then the third thing was the big part of the clerk's job for the planning board is notifying the state of any updates in the zoning ordinance. Is that in here? I see it says notifying code enforcement, zoning board of adjustment, all of that. It just needs to be added that you notified. Remember, didn't the state contact you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, because this person may not also be the assessor, needs to, and I think that's in here, that they update the town assessor.
Okay, so I'm adding notify the state of changes to the zoning ordinance.
Yeah.
And have the ability
And
to
that would be
access the
under-
website and make changes.
Yeah, if that makes sense to you, that would be under the clerk, and that would be under part 2.
Yeah. So I can tell you
So
right
with
now.
that, if she updates the, I'm sorry,
No,
if she updates that as a part of her duties, would you, the select board, need to update her the job description?
Well, I think it's probably, the job description is probably really high level, and we can talk about that after we go over, because it was with the understanding that it's administrative clerk. So it's basically it's covering the assessing duties
and above that.
and whatever all that entails. And at the time,
It was
you don't know what it
rediscovered.
all entailed.
Yeah.
And another thing, one more thing, is the annual report, not required by law for the planning board to provide for the selectmen. The select board has to have a report about what the planning board is, by understanding. So should that be part of the clerk's duties, adding in that annual report? I think it should.
Well, I should be, yes, I agree that needs to be done. I don't necessarily say it should all be on the clerk, but maybe, because I think it should be in conjunction with,
The planning chair,
yes,
the chair and or the clerk.
yes, the clerk, yes, of what's happening.
What do you think about that?
It's been said.
So, hold on for a second, so if we're putting in that an annual report needs to be done.
Well,
Is
I would
this,
say-
is this going on the rules of procedure, that's what I want.
Yeah, it's going on, well, somewhere. I was
So
gonna put it under the.
So in the annual town report, a planning board report is provided by the assessor, by the administrative board clerk
And or the chair.
Well, that's what it says right now, I think, the clerk with the assistance of the chair.
Oh, okay.
Or vice versa. Yeah, clerk with the assistance.
I didn't see it in there, but if it says it in there, that's exactly what I want. the
I
annual
can't believe you
report.
were on it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I trust you.
It's a new glasses.
Yes, I can't see it.
Well, if you don't put glasses on,
Getting old.
can you see if you put the glasses on?
I can't, because they're my old glasses, and I gotta have blue, and I
Yeah,
can't
that's
see
the
out.
idea. What are those for?
Those are for distance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get the book.
Oh, the stuff that I have.
Just be
All
careful.
right, so, all
All
right,
right,
so,
so then we get down to, I'm on 5, preliminary design review. They don't talk about conceptual review, non-review. My problem with this, having the reviews and the application for subdivision and site plan reviews and rules of procedure, is they're in the development codes there, and I'm not sure if they agree. To be, if they're not gonna, you know what I mean, don't, says this here, and says that there. I don't think they need to be here, but I don't believe they do. So it's up to you guys.
can we say, or can we just reference can we just say,
Well, what if they're different?
well, are they, I thought you said they should be the same.
They should be the same, but I haven't done the comparison. I was hoping somebody else would, but that's all right. Or we should just eliminate them from here.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
As you have the procedures in the development
Right,
anyway.
that's what I was gonna say, if you can say regarding what development procedures, see that, you know, you can make the note in there, go and just see that, take all that up and just make a note to.
Refer to the development.
Yes, yes.
And then when we change the development ordinance, we're gonna have to change everything else. It says, see chart.
Yes,
And
yes.
so now they go on to,
Hold on, so we're taking that up the rules of procedure?
Yes, and I think you're gonna reference the development rights to see that.
Application for subdivision and site plan review.
So I think it's just one
That's
sentence.
fine.
I would say, it's, you know.
Hang on, I need to know this. So this line is coming out, this section's coming out?
the preliminary design review and applications for subdivision and site plan review, refer to development regulations.
Yeah.
Refer to development first.
Yes. And that way, it's just as consistent as they want, in the way to look.
Or you see two different things in different places, because that really brings me back to that letter in the front of the development regulations. When I just want to get that into my forms, notice, public hearings. I didn't know if we should add time limits, but that can always be done. Time limits to a meeting, like if the people in the audience want to put a time limit. This is from your experience, just to think about it. It doesn't, nothing needs to be done. Decisions that
So you
are
can make a
in
note that it said, it doesn't say you have to put it on.
and joint tables. I didn't see anything
You
there.
know, to say with the time, that you can say you have to put it to the amount of time, yes.
Yeah, I think it's better to do it that way because, you know, like when I'm not chair, or Kate's chair next year, I mean, she might say 2 minutes for each person.
Well, no, but I mean, but the other thing.
That's what's for them.
But I guess my other point would be is that you have 10 people here,
Yeah.
and you say then 3 minutes per person. Well, nobody speaks except for one person, because you're like at the school board. I'm like, I should get all 30 minutes and find one, because you're supposed to have 30 minutes of public. I don't know. So
I know, but that's a little more contentious for us.
Well, so that's why it's a consideration to put in the back of your head. It's given your experiences at boards,
But I-
select
so
person,
I-
you may want to have time.
So I would say, you know, I would just put in there that the planning board has the ability to
Discretion.
limit the, you know,
The amount of time
amount of time.
So then
versus being rigid with an exact
Oh,
number.
well, you know, oh, good start.
So we put the
the fees list,
Yeah.
we don't have them. There's a
What?
little one, there's a little fees list, right? Fees.
Oh, yeah, actually, hold on, I'll show you what I do.
And,
I stopped making copies because I figured you had
That's
enough
fine.
paper.
no, yeah, it's true. It gets confusing, so I appreciate that. So it's online?
No. But I get a piece of paper, pictures of it there. In this pile of paper.
You know. My name's
John, one thing I was, your sure expired? I have, on your old that expired.
And then get yourself, yeah.
Do you know, is that right?
Could be.
I heard it.
Just stuff.
That your oath of office says March 2025?
Say so.
Well, I don't know, that's what I'm
I
asking.
thought we did all of this last
I thought we did too.
John scolded me, maybe put it in the calendar.
Stop, so just stop by and see what
So,
Just send it.
or the alternative, I
I'm
don't
not sure.
get re.
You just kind of continue on, because I think I did read that as well. It's kind of open-ended, but you should.
Yeah, I could stop by. I
Yeah,
can swear in anyone I want, it's okay.
See, it's just nothing to do with what has to pay for it.
Okay, there's another good example. I'm not quite sure where I.
Striking.
But it should be published, it should be somewhere where people know where it is.
Well, it should be on the website, that's a big help.
Yes.
So, and
I
then,
can tell you this thing.
really?
No, come on, Kate, really?
I know, I'm not disagreeing.
Yes, that is true. If you want to know where anything is, it is on John Long's computer.
So
So
that's,
I will-
We should have it on the website.
I'll put it on the website, I'll put it as a new document.
So, second thing about fees, I don't think the planning board has anything to do with those fees? I think it's the select, that's just a question I'm throwing out to the universe.
So, well,
You know, on certain things.
there's
We
certain,
did the driveway regulations.
we did the driveway regulations, because at first, because Jimmy and I,
Okay?
Jimmy and I went back and forth about this, because we set the fee, oh wait, no. For the building permits, Carl had to write those up to go to the selectmen.
Right.
So when Jim came to us about the driveway permits, I was like, no, Jim, you need to go to the
But
selectmen.
that driving permits
But
fall
then-
underneath that.
Yeah, then it's a big fall under us, so.
So I would suspect, Kate, that because it's all like site review stuff and whatever, that would be annual fines.
It's just something, if you see something, and we have that, that's great.
Which I told the last 20 days that it was town hall.
Swear, you gotta swear, John.
Don't put it anywhere you want.
So are you all set?
No, she's got, just like, put the
No,
glass
it's
on.
like a row, and we want to get but mergers. According to law, it used to be required in the planning board, and by state law, the planning board still has to do a merger, but in our,
I think we're merging the planning board with the
in the development
Yeah.
regulations, it doesn't
Maybe.
require.
the meeting will have in spirit, but short.
Right here, Kate. In New Hampshire, site fees are determined at the local municipal level, primarily by the city or town's planning board.
The RSA? Which one is it?
Well, wait a minute, I'm just
Oh, that's fine.
These fees are established in accordance with local ordinances and regulations.
There we go.
So it says, the local governing body, such as the city council or board of selectmen, grants the authority to the planning board to review site plans and set associated fees. So we, because we have a planning board by default, we are eligible. Yes.
Where do those fees go to? Or what do those fees cover?
Does it say the RSA?
No, this is a,
What do the fees cover?
we have to put no, you don't.
No, but like, I mean, so when you pay the money, like, what does it, what do they pay for? I don't see it. Let's
I
try.
mean, it's like, I go to file an application with the zoning board, it's like $100 and stuff, it's, I don't know, administrative costs, I don't know, I don't know if you approve what we're spending. Yeah.
Because like, how do we determine, like, if the fees need to be raised, like, what's our justification or how do we determine?
They spell it out, I've seen it, depending upon like the, just like you do the, the people that are involved, the pay involved, the time involved, all of that.
It's supposed that you have to justify that.
Like,
Yeah, we're gonna have
There's
to.
a justification.
well, for like the driveway permits, like, they were able to justify it because they said, on average, it takes us this amount of time.
Right, so,
Pay,
but there's filing fees, there's all of that stuff, the time involved, the clerk involved.
so maybe the new year, when we get through elections, we'll look at the fees.
Yeah, I didn't even know the fee list existed, so that's, we're ahead of the game
Yeah,
there.
Better be clear, because once we get a legal challenge, we'll be back to the world. Well, I'm saying to the point, no, I'm saying, it's,
So right here, Kate, it says, a separate document labeled as Notice of Land Use Board Fees under RSA 673:16, Roman numeral 3, should be created that provides a complete listing of fees charged for land use board applicants before the planning board, zoning board of adjustments, historic district commission, building inspector, and building code board of appeals. That's just that.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying,
yes. And I think, I believe I read somewhere where it does say the justification for, like, Christine City. So, okay.
I just want to make sure that like, if we need to like reimburse the fees, make sure we're covering.
Right. You can't impose excessive fees.
Yeah.
Justify.
Can't be made.
You know, we can't say if you want a copy of something, it's going to cost $10 a page.
Right. Okay, so what are we making on that? 8, 10?
Are you done?
2.4. We're on page 13.
So, well, I think you're aware that the numbers don't correspond with the stuff in the development regulations. Because it's mergers, and
Oh, mergers, right. Mergers
according
are
to our regulations.
rules of procedure?
Yeah, development regulations.
Oh, development regulations, okay, so I can look at that.
That was where I think it said Wakefield.
Mergers.
You're 2.4, that's what needs to be. All right, now, page 11. All right.
That quick? And is the development regs?
Under, above,
Oh.
C, below C, condominium conversion.
Oh, yeah, property
The
owner.
merging and consolidation of lots within Middleton does not require formal planning board approval. Now, that is not by state law. You have to have the planning board approval or its designee.
So we need to.
And the reason why is because you need to make sure that, number one, the person owns the property that they're combining. Number two, the taxes are fully paid on both lots before they combine them. And we could designate somebody, and that's what they've done in, I think in Wakefield. Why they did it like this was because they designated like the tax assessor to be the, or.
The overseer.
Yeah, the designee to approve,
Which would make sense because
to approve the mergers.
Okay, so do you want me to change that line in the document? That's what I need to know.
The merger.
You can't change it, we have to do
We
a
have to vote.
public hearing, public hearing,
Okay.
public meeting for subdivision
So we just-
regulations, is that a
So we
I
want to,
think it's just a public.
meeting or?
Right. Yeah, no, I think it's just.
so,
I lost the last,
Well, I want it to be a meeting, but on the subdivision regulations, yeah, or division,
I'm not
development.
gonna do anything.
so with this line being the way it is, it's the understanding that it's being, when a merger is happening, that the planning board clerk oversees that? Is that what we're saying? Just leave that.
Yeah, I think it should be the planning board, and
Okay, no, I'm just saying, if we can't change this, the implication is, this is what it means. This is the implied implication.
yeah, so that they get a merger form, and then they can just go, record it at registry, and then it's done, without any oversight by anybody.
Right, that'd be one way.
Right, yeah, you got your,
No,
Right,
it's read, you gotta read it. I mean,
I know, but lately, I mean, you have been, since I've been here, you guys have been approving all the.
Yeah, so-
You're saying they don't need to, or
So,
you change
look,
it?
you're gonna change it.
Yeah,
That's what we're trying to do. We
I
want to
got you.
change this.
yep, that's fine. I get it.
Or where we could have a vote right now and change it.
Let's go ahead.
It's a public meeting.
Go ahead, make the motion of.
I make a motion, we approve it, to have the
No,
planning
I
board.
want you to make the motion of what it should say.
Yeah,
I make the motion that the merging or consolidations within Middleton requires
Formal
a
planning.
formal planning board approval.
Okay, so you're gonna remove the does not. I'll second that.
all those in favor?
Do you want to discuss
You
it?
want to discuss it again?
John?
Mom, what's your 2 cents? Yeah? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Can we amend that?
Oh,
Because you gotta get rid of that last line.
the last line?
Recording of the form implies endorsement. And I don't like that either, do you? Not if they're shady.
Well, no,
Unless we want to create.
No, if we're saying it requires the formal planning board approval, then,
We don't need to get rid of that last
no,
one?
because then
All right.
if we're approving it, if we're approving it, then it says recording the form applies endorsement for the Middleton Board.
I'd like to amend my motion to amend the last line. I can see where you don't, but it just kind of muddies the
It's
implied
basically-
consent. You
It's
just give
it's
it.
basically saying the same thing twice. It's the
Yeah,
same
I
degree.
agree with you saying.
But she wants to, I'm fine with it, I'll second that amendment to remove the recording of the form implies, see, that's not a good word, right? Endorsement from Middleton Planning Board and words as it means. So,
All right, and,
Any
I
more
was,
discussion?
any more?
All those in favor?
Okay.
and so the other thing I had was page 2, development regulations again. Town of Middleton, New Hampshire development regulations. So it talks about the meeting being at 6:30, it talks about thank you for applying, things you got this time frame, that time frame. I would like to propose that we eliminate that page because it just muddies the water.
This
And
one,
we
all
can-
page two?
They just eliminate all of page 2, the thank you for your interest in developing the town of Middleton, because all of those requirements are in the body of the,
Yeah.
and if they're not in agreement, like that 6:30 meeting,
Yeah.
it just creates
And
confusion.
there's one more thing they have to chase after.
Exactly.
All right,
I'll make the motion that we remove page 2 of the development regulations.
I second that.
any discussion?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because if you have Hertel here, he doesn't want to hear every time he does anything, oh, thank you for your interest in the great town of Middleton. We appreciate that you've returned here for 3 months straight. He doesn't want to hear that. He wants to get done. And just like these two gentlemen here tonight, they didn't want to hear platitudes, they just want to hear good information.
All those in favor?
Uh,
All right, moving on. Here, is that it? Thank you for,
Hey, you are good.
you are a great chair.
You're a great resource.
Make a motion. Slide over. You know, you find a lot to do, so.
You're
So,
good in a
we're
second.
at this,
I hate to be,
no,
No,
but
you're-
hey, at least
You're on it.
he's a clerk, we talked about, so we're at Stratford Regional Planning dues.
Yeah,
yeah, but I'll wait till my comments at the end.
so there's like a nice long lengthy letter about some track for the regional, but we'll cut to the chase, I guess.
Yes.
Is that for next year?
So it looks like, so the draft, I guess that's,
Yeah, that's the number of
Population.
population.
yeah. So 2027 dues, it looks like it's $2,579.84. And then change from fiscal year '26, $190.40.
So does your budget proposal for 2026 incorporate that number?
I didn't have that, I didn't have this.
So when you go to the budget committee Monday night, you can say you have an updated number. That's my opinion, I think you're.
Yeah, that letter actually went to Tim.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I thought we needed that information.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know why that didn't get from
But
my.
I got it because I'm on commission.
Uh,
I usually go to Tim and stuff.
Was what it is, different figures.
No,
So
it's
that's-
because they sent it out on an email.
So this is, so do you pay a separate fee from the planning? So we pay this much?
Does the town pay any money to them?
No, it's,
So it all comes from the planning board.
I believe so, yes,
And that's what I want.
yes. I don't believe we have a separate, another Stratford regional
Yeah.
Which is curious as to why they sent it to
plan. He's the chair.
the chair.
He knows those people. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The next thing?
What's happening there, you're paying?
No, she's
So-
gonna put it in the budget.
So for the budget committee, I'm gonna have to update those numbers, with the budget committee.
Yeah, because I gave you wrong numbers, and I'm sorry about that. I didn't-
You only go by what you have.
And of course, their funding is all screwed up because of private grants and
Yeah.
rescinded.
And when we presented, so when each department presented like 2 months ago now,
Yeah.
I didn't have numbers because we weren't sure about.
Well, you commented on working on the school. You looked at that. All right, so let's go, move along, we're at 10 past 8.
Yeah, it's been good to get to bed too.
I'll be at tomorrow. Tomorrow's a long day for us.
Almost
there.
So,
Mark Davies.
Mark Davies, Stratford Regional Planning, Master Plan, Consultation Regional. He wants to come to the next meeting.
Yes.
He was gonna send me an email about what he wants to talk about. He hasn't sent me the email.
So he's coming in December. He asked if he could come, and I said, sure. Bring it.
They want help with some kind of,
I
and the
Are
development.
they doing
project.
something for Rochester, so that will
And
probably
he
be
was
helping
impressed
us.
with you guys, and, they found in the collection truck.
Or they come to Rochester by giving them extra water and Chico.
That's right.
So building permits, if you guys want to take a look at them, if you have any questions.
Yeah, I do have questions.
Uh-huh.
For September, did we collect a total of $10,000 for building permits? Is that, did I read
No,
that
this
correctly?
is for October.
The one behind it.
Oh, yeah.
There's two there, there's September.
This one's, oh, sorry.
Am I reading that correctly? Or is that like $10,000 for a 1 month period?
I would think so.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Well, it says building
That's what it
permits
says.
and, well, it's including electrical permits, plumbing permits, and gas permits, which I think is this all?
It's on the back page.
No, but I was just looking electrical, building, this is all plumbing. Yeah, so yes, that's what it looks like for the month of, so 1, 2, 6, 7, 15. I don't know, that seems kind of high for what I'm looking at. Numbers. Oh, maybe, I had this last one. Oh, that's a breakdown right here, on the last page. It says your building permits, 2541, 150 for electrical, plumbing is 110 and $50 for gas. So if you add those up, that's only like $2,800. So, I don't know if that's because it's split between additions and, I don't know, yes, this last page, maybe that's a combination. It can't be, because some pages, October, I don't know. Oh, it's probably this page too. I don't know, it's a good question, Kate.
It looks like it is because he's got building permits at 8,000 for it. Electrical permits at 500 and plumbing permits at 380. It's kind of crazy how they go up for
Oh, yeah, no,
permits.
I'm sorry, this last page is actually is a new building that's on, and that's all one, okay. So yeah, so then it's actually like 4 pages.
Yeah, it looks like it is 10,000 then for 1 month. And then, in October,
Well, it's like 9 new builds between both hospitals.
Well, you have to look at new, new bills.
on,
Take it later.
There's like 3 or 4 people rows.
Alteration of deck addition, new building, that's
Think
something. Pinkham had 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Eau Claire, it's 4.
Eau Claire has
Again,
4.
No, Eau Claire,
Eau Claire makes 4.
There's another Pinkham at 5.
Building.
Then there's one on Lake Shore makes 6. There's one on Nicola that makes 7.
Yep.
There's one on New Hampshire, 489, New Hampshire, that makes 8. Then there's New Hampshire, down the bottom of the hill, makes 9, 10.
So,
10 new bills in 1 month.
2 months.
so for a total,
September, October.
except for I didn't get 1 month, so we're on $50,000 collected from $52,000, and that's, I don't have complete information for every month. And then, but I did have a question, unfortunately, in October, it looks like on the 27th, there was a permit for an ADU issue
What page?
on page 4.
Yeah.
PID 1310,
Oh, for Sharon.
1,008 square feet ADU addition on bed.
You can't do 1,000 square feet for an
I thought it had to come through.
ADU. No, they don't have to come through anymore, remember, because, I don't remember. Okay, so because of the new state mandate, it's
It's
mandated.
effective on the 20th of
It was
July.
effective in July 1st. They don't have to come to us to get they go right to the building, code enforcement. But ADUs I thought the max square footage for an ADU was 9,
Yeah,
it's 950?
so if it is, then we need to bring that to Carl's attention. I mean, we can't pull this back.
Wait, which page?
Page 4.
Or maybe maybe it was an issue, right? What's the benefit of the doubt?
Addition,
The new law.
well, it's just, yeah, it's new law, but if there's there's a maximum or minimum, then
Yeah.
someone needs to oversee it, we're not doing it.
So,
Member comments?
anybody have anything else that they want to add to this?
Yeah, so, and I apologize because I must have left it at home, but I also shared it with you all, or shared it with, I shared it with everybody.
Yeah.
My homework that I had from 2 months ago,
Yeah, there's one copy.
but, because I was looking up, I think, manufactured housing or mobile home parks, I think that's what it was, or manufactured housing parks. And, short-term rentals,
Airbnbs.
right there.
Yep.
So I provided some information, a couple things based off of what Blair had given me. And so I threw it up there for everybody. I just wanted to, I ended up printing everything, but I think I highlighted or I said, noted where the sections are to look because some of them are pretty, kind of a lot of pages, but it's kind of sometimes good to have all of everything so you can get everything in context.
Yeah.
But, so those are the things. So maybe for the next meeting, I mean, I don't.
Well, I love to read the Durhams,
Yeah.
and I've got Effingham's, they have a small bit, very small
And I
thing
think
on
I looked at it.
manufactured housing.
They have mobile.
But I can't read anything off, I have to have paper copies.
Yeah.
No, I get it too, Kate, and I printed stuff off here, and that's what I scanned, so I have a copy, but I know Robin had commented she's making copies and whatever, but I'm like, and I don't know if we weren't bringing that up, because we met last month, was with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so long ago.
I know.
But yes, but my homework from that was to bring back information
Good job, I appreciate it.
regarding that. So, and I would thought I would brought my copies from one of my stacks at home. So we could just kind of, but I mean, obviously that's not for tonight, but I mean, I think we should put that on the agenda to kind of address, at least at high level, maybe get something on the ballot.
Absolutely. What would your priority be?
Manufactured housing. Because
Because I think we can find more on that than you can on the short-term rentals.
and the short-term rentals is such a great area right now in the state.
So I was fighting with Robin earlier over taxes. We're fighting over taxes. You stop talking to me about taxing on own businesses, because I wondered, what is the town interest in? And you said that the assessors would have no way of knowing it's a town business. I don't understand town taxes would be on income, right? It wouldn't be on the use of.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when Avatar goes to assess a house, they don't know if it's an Airbnb. They don't know if it's a home business.
Right.
They go and assess the property and market value.
Go ahead, Kate, because I think I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to
Say it, because I lost my
So,
mind.
no, I would suspect that maybe we on the town side, our responsibility could be is, okay, if these places are supposed to be registered as Airbnbs or registered with the state, Christine, maybe you I think we'll dabble into that a little bit, then we could identify them from our end to say, hey, we know that 110 Lakeshore Drive is an Airbnb. Or we can go right on Airbnb, put in Middleton, New Hampshire, and I could say,
Oh, there you go.
I do that too.
Building a place, yeah.
No, but
So this also,
If you're an Airbnb, you are supposed to be
or
from,
VRBO,
or if you are a short-term rental, and your property is a short-term rental, from my research, the owner is supposed to register with the state as such, as like I don't know if it's like a business thing or they'd have to register that as that And then from there, it's like, I know, I think it was Ossipee or one of the towns not far from here. They have an ordinance where if you are a short-term rental, you have to get a permit with the town and basically register your short-term rental.
That might be the one that, Blair's the one that told me about this, so it's like part of North Conway, but it's called Kearsarge, Water District or Kearsarge.
And that would make sense that they would be on top of that where they are. So that's in the same lines as somebody that creates a home business, advertises their home business, and they're not taxed as a business.
Well, do we
Because
have our own?
theoretically, if you are on, if your property is on like Airbnb and all of that, and let's say I rent one of the houses, John Mullen's house that's right on the water, and he Airbnbs it. He is supposed to pay, what is it, the hotel?
Tax, meals
Right.
meals and rooms tax. Now, so what if I'm putting an ice cream store on in my house, home business?
Where it's not, it's nothing, it's up.
But I gotta go before the town and get a site review,
Yeah, you get the site, the
right?
town
Because
gets-
we want to make sure the signing and the road and everything else is correct. So, I mean, are there any taxes on that? Other than,
that you might have to pay like taxes to like the government for your, like,
Income
money, your
tax.
income tax.
Business income.
Business, yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
But the town doesn't see any of that, from my understanding, so you don't.
I don't know.
But I know if it was like an Airbnb with the food and lodging taxes, potentially, if one, there was like a permitting, like some towns are doing to keep track of them, there's the revenue from that, but then I'm also wondering, does, a town like North Conway, where there's tons of Airbnbs, and then there's hotels and everything else, do they get more of that food and lodging revenue from the state that the state collects? Do they get more of that because they have all of those like registered and accounted for to say like, hey, like 50% of our town brings in X amount of dollars of revenue for food and
On Airbnb?
lodging?
Well,
Oh, yeah, there's lots of them.
So-
Talk to those people.
But going back to the ice cream shop,
Yeah.
they come in, talk to you guys, conditional or whatever,
Yeah.
conceptual. You cannot tell me, Kate, your taxes are gonna go up because you're gonna be running a whole business. You can't say that.
Right.
Because we don't have like a business tax in town or like anything, which, I mean, should we?
I don't know.
Can
Should we? Can we?
I mean, what is the town's responsibility for this?
What's the town's interest in it?
Responsibility.
Responsibility. Oh, because the code enforcement, the health officer, and the assuring that it's healthy, and, well, we got that pickle law, I don't know if they ever made a decision about.
But no,
I'm just saying, the town doesn't have any responsibility. It's up to the state to collect the taxes. It's up to the state to disperse the
Well,
tax.
I think if it's going to impact the community and the runnings of the community,
And hotel businesses and restaurant business that competes.
yeah, and the traffic and everything else, then the town should be able to collect some of that revenue to help offset for all of these services that the town supplies.
So the town's responsibility is reporting to the state that there are businesses being run in
I think
the
we're
town.
getting in the weeds because these are 10 B&Bs that we just found.
That's just like 2 seconds.
These are not multi-story hotels. These are,
No, okay,
No, but we-
$1,500 a night, $1,700, $3,000, $3,300 a night.
So we're wondering why we have to create home workforce housing in town? Because all of these places are being taken out of the market for
I see, well, isn't that
residences.
the property owner is doing what they want with their property?
You're talking about the town's interest.
Yeah.
The town just.
No, I asked, what's our responsibility?
Responsibility is to report the businesses
Is
that
it
are
now?
being run to the state.
Well, the town's responsibility is to make sure
They're following the ordinance.
that we're following the ordinances, and also the town's responsibility is to maintain and take care of the town
Yes,
and have it properly run.
right, but these
So
aren't
how do you-
hotels, these are.
It doesn't, but still, so, okay, so how do you make a town properly run? How do you make a town properly safe for fire, police, and everything else? What does it take?
Volunteers.
Money. Nobody volunteers anymore, except for us stupid people that are sitting here.
Except for us.
Except for us.
Look, it sounds like we're looking for like the magic, like,
No, but so it's like, so, okay, how do you keep the spirit of this small town and small community, but don't kill like the average,
The person who lives here year round.
yeah. You know, the 75-year-old person that spent more than half their life trying to maintain a roof over their head, and now they're finally in their golden years, and their property taxes skyrocket.
Because they retired at a rate like $7 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, well,
And so it's,
So now they get
so I
money.
mean, on the flip side of that, okay, those Airbnbs are not like, you know, the Hilton where they have, 800 rooms, but
they're not
When you-
giving you anything here.
no, but when you've got, 4 Airbnbs on one street and every week there's 4 families that are coming in with 2 or 3 cars each and they're racing up around the
Police
roads and-
support, and fire support.
and they're calling the police because, well, they didn't realize that if they set up a firework and it drove, that they're gonna burn down half the neighborhood.
Okay, well,
Um,
I have an Airbnb in my neighborhood, and there's been no trouble. The only trouble is the squirrels.
That's great, but why do you get insurance? Why do you have insurance? Do you have insurance because you get into an accident every week?
Okay, so what we're saying is the 10 or 15 Airbnbs are somehow draining the system, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're affecting
Maybe-
residences. They're taking all of the town. There's 15 houses that could have family living in them. We gotta build workforce
We have
housing
lots of
instead.
seasonal houses that people come up for the summer, the fall, the spring, the winter. I don't consider my neighbor who comes up 2 seasons of the year taken away from anybody else. I see a taxpayer.
But
Doesn't matter.
if you're making money off of that property.
That is covered through the taxes. Not land taxes. That's for them, the state, the federal government to deal with.
So if I make $200,000 a year and you make $30,000 a year, we should pay the same amount of taxes. So we are.
That's not what I'm saying at all. No.
So we should pay the same amount of federal taxes.
Okay, well, I don't know how that matters anyway.
Well, no, because ultimately, if I have a house and I live here year round, and I'm not making any revenue out of it, I'm just living here and then having to work to live here,
Yeah.
and then somebody down the street from me is making $3,000 a week on their house for 3-4 months out of the year, and they're making huge, big revenue out of it, and they're paying the same amount.
Okay, so based on that, you need to invest in a property in the south.
I do.
Go get a property in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, then you have a second home to deal with, just like these rentals, just like these seasons. That would be fair. That way you both have 2 houses. There's nothing wrong with someone buying a house up here, renovating it, living here all year, living it part of the year. That's their problem.
Okay, so
She's not talking about that person. What she's talking about is the person who's renting it out.
I mean, it's kind of like the guy who buys a parcel
So if I
of land
open
and
up-
logs it.
So if I
That's their prerogative.
If I open up a pet store, I shouldn't have to pay taxes on it. On the revenue.
Okay, the state deals with the taxes for the business. We do not, do we?
So are they paying taxes on the?
I don't know. Am I the state? No.
So this tonight, we're at 8:30.
I'm just saying,
We can continue this next.
Look. we can't get into everyone's business all the time. For what? It's not our responsibility.
That's what the planning board does. We get into people's business.
Yeah, like this person who's gonna pass that square foot ADU.
Well, fine, go knock on their door. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna go knock on everyone's door and check the septic tank.
How long have you done that? How?
That was in fact proposed at one time. It was proposed to register every place that go in town.
Well,
why do we need to get involved with this? That's all I need to know.
Well, okay, so
I understand
the
we need.
point, no, I said the point about the septic system, I believe, was probably brought up by John Mullin.
Yes.
Whatever, because now you're getting, if you're getting overuse over there by the lake, you're gonna cause cyanobacteria, and that's gonna close that lake down, or whatever. So-
Well, not even cyanobacteria, we've had an increase of E. coli numbers.
But I'm just saying, so his concern.
The
is
lake
because-
has aged.
Yes,
So-
yes, and I was concerned about an unfunded mandate.
I know, I'm just saying
I
that,
can't tell you, you gotta buy a new septic system.
well, if it fails,
No, I still can't tell you. You can live with a failed septic
No,
system.
you can't.
It would be awful unpleasant.
No, failed septic system is the.
Look, I've been to parts of the world with this failure of
Okay, so
septic
the United States of America,
no, in Middleton, New
My
Hampshire.
point is, we are getting in the weeds of this.
No, but, okay.
Why are you knocking on the door
But you're
15
telling,
hours?
but you're telling me, what you're saying though, in essence, is basically, oh, you could have a failed septic system and I can't do anything, the town can't do anything about it. Yes, we can.
Yes,
This is a health.
okay, fine.
So that's a bad example.
Okay, so the bicycle example, not me.
You know, that is, that's a
The
bad.
bicycle example.
Registry.
Why do we need to register every bicycle other than to punish families?
Oh, because you have the right of way on the road.
That's why we need registration.
Wow,
Because to maintain the roads.
right. I
Oh,
mean,
no.
your Schwinn is causing a lot of wear and tear on the pavement.
Yeah, and I counted it with, I need to register every cane, walker, and wheelchair. So the fire department knows how to have,
Can we add that to our next agenda?
I'm just
Looking
saying,
into cave and walker use?
look, I'm just saying, if you want to punish one group, we can punish a
It's
lot
not
of groups.
punishing, it's acting for fairness.
right.
Okay, so you're punishing one group by saying you can register bicycles, which targets families with kids.
We're just-
I have more wheeled vehicles in my car.
Okay, so let me ask you this. We're gonna have a $7 million budget for this school. If we could potentially get in some of the, ultimately what it's called is revenue, from some of these short-term rentals to help offset the cost of the needs of this town. And so that it help offsets the cost for the year-round taxpayers that are on limited budgets, which are most of us here in this room.
Okay, well,
Would that not be a good thing?
yes, but the mechanism to obtain those tax dollars, states.
So, yeah, he's got a point.
So
So
if-
if somebody opened a hotel, they would be charged
Yes.
rooms and meals tax. So if somebody opens up a
But-
one-room hotel, they
So
don't
I
have
guess this, if us not having a ordinance for short-term rentals to where we can properly track them, to report it to the state, so we can recoup some of that revenue, is that a bad thing? That we come up with an ordinance to potentially say, if you have a short-term rental, you must register with the town so we can keep track, and that we make sure that the state is properly collecting things so we get our fair share.
Isn't that the state's responsibility? Because what happens if they don't register with the state?
Well, then they should, then somebody's gonna be calling in and saying, hey, you know, John,
What if you don't
over
register
there
your
on
car?
Arcola is, got Airbnb and,
I'm just saying, we just need them.
I need to talk to somebody, explain taxes to me, and this business thing, and this.
I'm just saying,
All right, so.
I just don't want to get in everyone's business.
we're not saying we're getting in everybody's.
I don't want to check the mustard in the hot dog cart.
John, you know
What
what?
if,
So that's the code.
what if it has to do with lying?
I still don't want to do
I'm
it.
not
You
buying
want to be
a hot
responsible
dog
for the
if
deaths of all those children?
Okay.
All right.
First of all, there is that. There's the ultimate social media. You cannot jump on a private dock here without social media splitting all over the town. There is a mechanism that the people are to use.
No,
Without the
we
town
need
getting
to
involved.
encourage the Karens.
I don't need to encourage them. They do it themselves.
Well,
That's the
No,
beauty.
that's what we need.
So why do we need to encourage this process that's already underway?
That's what we need, is a caring ordinance.
What are you talking about?
It's called the internet,
Yeah.
and if you say or do anything, or proceed to do anything, you'll get talked about.
That's a good point.
Then you're gonna get Karen.
I'm just saying,
All right.
if there's a problem with Airbnbs, someone will put it online saying, I saw this, I saw that, right? So why do you not get involved?
Yeah, no, he's got,
I just wonder, why does the town need to get involved with this?
because
he's got a point.
We have a ton of other stuff to get involved with.
Let's come
Because
up,
nobody gets involved in anything.
I think we need to see what a sample ordinance, I really haven't had a
I
chance.
mean, all it was is, it was put on the agenda, it was put on my docket to take a look at, see what other towns would have. Nothing is saying we're moving forward or we're moving backward with it.
We need to
Nobody
look
said
at
that.
This has been coming up, and I'm like, why do we need to worry about this?
Maybe we don't, John.
We need to look at.
Check out, you know what, go on to Wolfgar's website, go onto their planning and zoning section. They did a huge study on it like 2 years ago.
Wonderful for Wolfboro, they're a much bigger town.
Yes, they are.
I'm just trying to save us some time and effort.
But would you say the impact is the same? Because we're such a small
I
town,
would,
10 or 15 is a bigger impact.
10 or 15 plots, I would be like,
What do we have, 300 lots on, or is it
Well,
130 lots? on the
No, if we're gonna delve this, we'll need numbers, is there a
so
problem?
here's the problem with it
Again,
now, is it's
all I was
always been
asked
short.
to do is pull some information together. That doesn't say we're moving forward.
Okay, well, I'm
And-
saying, why are we bumping?
Why are we looking into it at all? Is that what that's what you're saying? Why are we looking into it?
Why do we look into anything?
Why do we focus?
Why do we look into anything? We're looking into it to make sure that it is in the best interest of the town.
Okay, but we
So you
prioritize.
can't, so
We prioritize.
Excuse me, I went down the wrong way.
We prioritize our work.
Right.
Okay, in which we were talking about, and have you done any work on this? Have you wasted any time on this other than today? Or
I thought you better,
have you researched anything? So you haven't wasted any time. Your priority has
I've
been-
wasted a lot of time on this subject, I believe.
Well, yeah, sitting here arguing with us about saying, this is what I brought to the table because it came up, and I looked it up, and Blair recommended me, and
Okay,
that's
well,
all I've
I
done.
appreciate your
That's
work
all
on it.
I've done.
But as the Airbnb seem to be all in one particular part of town, which I have a vested interest in because I live there.
As do I,
Yeah.
which is why I like the septic thing.
And I believe we can follow, I would cite the references of General John Stark.
Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes.
No, that's probably
That's
not.
all, sorry.
It's on your license plates.
Well, live for your dog.
That's what it
So
says.
live for your dog doesn't mean to do whatever the hell you want to do without any kind of consequence.
It does not.
Oh, wait a minute.
But isn't that good neighbors?
I just want to know if there's a tax incentive for the town.
Well, that's just it. It's
That's all.
not-
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn at 8:38.
I will second that. All in favor?
Uh,
Okay.
Okay.
Did you